A long time ago, the Earth was ruled by dinosaurs. Then something happened. A giant meteorite struck the Earth. Goodbye, dinosaurs.
It was a night like this 40 million years ago. I lit a cigarette, picked up a monkey skull to go. The sun was spitting fire, the sky was blue as ice. I felt a little tired, so I watched Miami Vice. I walked the dinosaur. I walked the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Boom, boom, acca lacka lacka boom, 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 acca lacka boom, I met you in a cave. You were painting buffalo. I said I'd be your slave. Follow wherever you go. That night we spread our snake, and that we lit the stars. You fell asleep, I stayed awake and watched the passing cars and walked the dinosaur. I walked the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor.
Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. From the sky, much too big to be a bird, screaming, crashing noise, louder than I've ever heard. It looked like two big silver trees that somehow learned to show. Suddenly, a summer breeze to the dinosaur. To the dinosaur.
Here it comes. Don't get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody kill the dinosaur.
Crockett. Vice, Miami.
My point is, apparently, the XXXY chromosomes are insufficient because when we wake up in the morning, we exaggerate whatever feature we want to portray the gender of our choice. Either the one you're assigned, the one you choose to be, whatever it is. And so now so now just to tie a bow on this, I say to you, somewhere I think I read that the United States was a land where we have the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
Suppose no matter my chromosomes, today I feel 80% female, 20% male. I'm gonna put on makeup. I'm gonna do that. Tomorrow I might feel 80% male. I'll remove the makeup and I'll wear a muscle shirt. Why do you care?
Hi, my name is Erin. I use she, her pronouns, and I am this.
ジョーンズ、お前得意先と会議じゃないのか？遅れるぞ。
はい。
タクシー使えよ。
はい。
あいつ今日は妙に元気だな。
あと1分で着きます。
もしかしてこれ飲んだのか？
お待たせしました。治療です。
この惑星では妙に力がみなぎる時もある。
俺も飲んじゃおうかな。
ボスからエナジー。Iron Boss.
Keep taking your calls. Let's see. Try line number 1. Josh's movie review. Who's this?
Is this a new show?
This is a new show. Yeah, today's the first episode. How am I doing?
Brand new?
Yeah, brand new, dude. You're watching the first one.
I gotta do this, brother. It's your first episode. Come in my mouth!
No.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Big Mac, Whopper.
Keep your mouth shut, kid. Never speak about me. Ever in your life. Watch yourself around me. Because you'll be out of here quick. Let me take my picture. Huh? Yeah, shut your mouth.
She's mad. She's still getting stiff. She's so wobbly.
Too slow and too stiff. You're stiff as a board.
Again, it's not hot, the fan!
That's cold.
Touch it, touch. Fuck! It's stone cold!
Oh, no. Here, hold on. Let me get my pose on my belt and my shoe. Huh? Yeah, shut your mouth.
Yeah, do me a favor. Get out!
He's Bill Murray's character.
To catch a varmint, you gotta be a varmint.
Right? Now? Yes, right. Are you sure?
I used to drag here back in high school.
Conor McGregor.
It's exactly a quarter mile away from here. On green, I'm going for it.
现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋。拉力！
$5 from everyone's favorite irrelevant fallen angel with 0 failed IGG campaigns. Have a good one, Oz. Thank you, Micah. I appreciate it.
Oh, good.
people of Earth. It is I, Emperor Zurk. As you can tell, this has been pre-recorded. It is because I am out hunting for new Jeffs. Although, it comes to my attention that you may be confused. Jeffs are co-ed. As you can see here, we are aware that you are a dual-sex species, and therefore you should know that it's okay to be a girl Jeff. Wow. That's a lady Jeff right there. Whoa. But yeah. Sign up today. We're out checking them out. Yeah, oh no, I think I said the wrong thing there. Quick, Jeff, cut the thing! Cut it!
Destiny turned her face, nightmares and violent shapes. State of dreaming has left me numb. Blue eyes and wandering lips, true life to fingertips. Hidden tales of forbidden love. You've left me miserable, miserable visions of better times, kingdoms and lie like wine. Why did God fail to improve us? Teardrops of acid rain burning down through my veins. Can't I just leave for a night? Despite my fears, I dance for you, even while others move. Well, can one wait and live again? Or desperate,
There is no life or death. There is only people who will and won't be bothering me again. Yes? Yes. Welcome. Oh, I left the thing up. Whoops, that's my bad. So unprofessional. Here I am. I was going to flash you with gargoyles. Surprise, everybody. Got great news for you. Remember those fond, nostalgic memories of Gargoyles, the animated series? Or maybe you were one of those yuck-em-ups that was into the comics. Well, Disney Plus has decided to spread their ass cheeks and smear their gooey butt cheese all over your memories. These ones too, not just your Marvel memories. They're going to come get your Gargoyles, the animated series memories now, boys. I can't wait for Goliath to be a big gay gargoyle. Paint his wings all rainbowy. You know, maybe they'll put BLM on the little dog guy that ate everything. Remember that? The little Rottweiler guy that ate everything? Oh, man. That's what they're up to. Disney Plus announces plans for live action Gargoyles series helmed by the Annabelle series writer Gary Dauberman. Dauberman. It's quite a name, right? But congratulations on that, Disney Plus. Apparently, we have reached the bottom of the barrel, right? Now, I don't think Gargoyles is anything like terrible or undeserving of a live action adaptation. But when you're kind of like running out of money the way that Disney is, where you're slicing Marvel products off of your slate left and right, you know, probably not a good idea to bring a show that you're going to need to dump a fuck ton of CGI into in order to, like, I don't know, put it on at all. You're not going to get practical effects Gargoyles, the live action TV series, that's for sure. You're not going to get claymation live action Gargoyles. This is going to be one of those CGI nightmares. That's what we're going to get right here. Gotta love it. Yeah, JEC points out Brooklyn was already gay as hell. Yeah, well, you see, they tried that diversity thing with them, right? So a few of them were a little frou-frou-y, but yeah, I don't know, man. They were still like, you know, maybe they would like date the like really machismo kind of gal, right? Not the dainty detective lady that Goliath. Did that ever weird anybody out? Like he had it bad for Demonia or whatever the hell his wife's name was there that she had the baby with, the daughter of Goliath with. Remember that? He had the hots for her, and then all of a sudden he's like, I like humans now. Which is precisely, wasn't that why the people of ancient Scotland were pissed off in them in the beginning anyway? I can't wait till that becomes the central focus of the show, is the interspecies, interpersonal drama of Goliath fucking a human. How do you like that, by the way, right? Like, your boyfriend only comes out at night, right? So, I wonder what his Netflix and chill schedule is like, huh, fellas? Yeah. Yeah, it's got that 80s proto emo wave vibe, like Echo and the Bunnymen or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Chain Gang. Yeah. If you're curious, by the way, that is the opening and closing song that I use with the show here. I just like it, and I also like that it's the anime that I grew up with, not this weird stuff they got now. Admittedly, some of it's pretty good, but a lot of it, like Panty and Stockings, are coming back, and I don't know anybody who isn't perverted that didn't want that back, you know. But Puma Fist is here, and he says Gargoyles was always paused. They were the simps for the chick. You know, Gargoyles had a problem with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle syndrome. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they had an original idea with these Gargoyles that were in New York because everything in the universe has to happen in New York. You ever notice that? Everything in the universe happens in New York. There's no other place on the planet Earth as far as aliens are concerned. It's amazing. But movie aliens anyway. But so you got Gargoyles in New York. It's a pretty interesting idea, right? Ancient Scottish gargoyles, for whatever reason, are now free to roam New York. And they're not malevolent. They're kind of chill, and they just want to help. And they, you know, of course, people are judging them because they got big old bat wings on their back, and they're swooping in the middle of the night to stop bank robberies or whatever the hell they got up to. But as the story progressed, they kind of run out of ideas after that. Of course, you got your obligatory rich guy with an accent, bad guy, you know, your stand-in Lex Luthor fella popping up in that series. But again, I mean, like, it really fell into that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing where everybody had a different color and that color corresponded to their personality. And there was the obligatory food obsessed character after a while, and then the obligatory I'm too old for this character. It just sort of, I don't know, mutated into like Disney's attempt to cash in on Turtle Mania. But maybe that's why it just kind of fell away as soon as the Turtles did. I don't know. But JEC says, I think I stopped watching before he got the hots for the detective lady. So it was pretty early then when you stopped watching. Yeah, Pumafist says, yep, and April became a way bigger character than she should have been. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. JEC, Trump decided to rebuild a Scottish castle on top of Trump Tower, brought them back to life. Yeah, well, exactly. That's probably what the plot's going to be. Is some Trumpian style guy that's is crooked in every which direction is going to be the guy that brings the gargoyles and the Scottish castle thing over into the middle of New York. They were kind of cool though. They had the hunters. Remember the hunters? They had like their floating bus thing that they were hunting the gargoyles with, and they had been hunting gargoyles for thousands of years, I guess, or something. It's fascinating. It was really. I wish that was the main conflict, that it didn't take till season 3 when they were completely out of ideas to come up with those guys. But it was weird. Their designs kind of looked like Cable from the X-Men. But let's find out what the details are with this. And Spencer opens up the article with this. Spencer Bakuli, by the way, pretty cool guy, also into Super Sentai. You catch him over on the Bounding Into Comics channel on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. on the Black Pill stream. I push the buttons for that stream and occasionally make like commentary from the Peanut Gallery. So, stop by on Wednesdays and check it out. It's pretty neat. Anyway, Spencer begins the article with, in an odd bit of poetry, considering how the series protagonists want nothing more than to come to life, Disney has officially announced that a live-action Gargoyles series is now in development for their eponymous streaming service. That's, it's a nice way to open it, right? First unveiled to the public on October 16th, courtesy of an exclusive from The Hollywood Reporter. The series will reportedly be produced by the Conjuring Universe architects James Wan and Gary Dauberman's Atomic Monster. Monster must be Monster. Spencer, you're typing too fast again. Atomic Monster production company. With the latter best known for writing the Annabelle and the Nun series, neither of which needed to be a series. So we're in for a ride, fellas. Serving as writer, producer, and showrunner. So yeah, Dauberman, this fellow up here, Gary Dauberman's running the whole shebang, front to back. The only thing he's not doing is acting, and you give him enough time, he'll probably end up in front of the camera. So that's fun. That's fun, right? That's a lot of fun. Yeah, not Donatello. Oh no, whatever show we do, right? Exactly. It's the gargoyles were basically winged turtles, Goliath was pretty much like Leo. He was just taller and purple, and he didn't wear pants. He had like a ripped loincloth thing, like he had a belt too. What a weird thing, right? You're a gargoyle. You don't wear a shirt, you turn to stone, but you have a belt. You got a belt on your ripped loincloth. I don't know what genius came up with that, but it's like, no. We can't have him just have a loincloth. That would be inappropriate. We don't want kids to get the idea that you could just go around with a loincloth not being properly fastened to your waist. I have to ask, what committee, right? What committee decided Goliath needs a belt? We don't want him to be a degenerate with his loincloth. JEC says Gargoyles was pretty well done. Like you said, they ran out of ideas and they brought in his daughter that had never been mentioned before. And that had some weird storyline where they were on a boat. Yeah, I think they were traveling through the river Styx or something because she had lost her soul or something like that. The show liked to mingle technology and magic pretty fluidly. So I mean, that was chiefly how the Hunters functioned in season 3. Was they were able to like, I think that's where she came from. Is the Hunters chased her to New York or something, and I recall the River Styx though. It had something to do because the Reaper shows up like literally hooded dude in a scythe. Like they pulled no punches with that. So at least his name is Donatello, and that refers to Teflon. That would be protecting him. So Teflon Don, yeah, Teflon Don. So bring it on, yeah. Pumafish says the turtles were not originally color coordinated. They were black and white, and then when color was introduced, they all had red bandanas. It wasn't until Eastman and Laird sold out that they got colored bandanas in their colored motif. Yep. My English teacher was like this guy that used to go around and play the tabletop role-playing games at conventions. And he was apparently down at Gen Con down in like the late 80s. And this was a tabletop game. These Eastman and Laird were there. Just, you could play the turtles. You could role play as each turtle. And it was just what you could make your own characters and stuff like that. And apparently through that game is where they kind of built out the world, I guess, or added on the stuff that became attractive to the studio. So it's pretty neat. It was pretty neat. But my English teacher had nothing to do with the production of Turtles. That's not what I'm saying. I did not date a high school principal of Eastman or Laird. I've never met them. I've never met anyone they're related to. I may have crossed paths with somebody that breathed the same air as them at some point. Maybe. That's as close as I can get to it, okay? So, JEC says the belt was probably a design thing, ties the look together, character together. Admittedly, he does look a little Tarzan-y without the belt on him, but I mean, it's just such a bizarre... And it has a buckle. It's not just a belt. It has a buckle on it. It's just such a bizarre choice. Well, it's all right, man. We get passionate, right? Big G, yeah, all right, Big G. I'm sorry, you got such a long screen name, bro. I'm just gonna call you Big G. Big G says the origins are always classic. You can't beat it with a stick. Yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. It's always good stuff way back in the day. Marsupial Gamer, hey all, did you ever date EVS's principal's daughter, Cider? No, I literally never. I don't know how a gay man would end up with a daughter in the 80s, but it's possible. New Jersey had a lot of crazy stuff going on. Wasn't it Jersey that had the alligators in the sewers? Anyway, that's where Jimmy Hoffa lost his wallet, right? But so we'll go on. Spencer goes on here, and he says, currently considered to be in early development by Disney. It's great news, right? You never want to hear those words, right? You want early development by Disney. The production has yet to provide any further details regarding its production team, cast, direction, or release date. Not provided any of that yet, so he wrote that twice. I remember the Steel Clan robots. They made clones of them. That was really funny. There's the belt. It's just... I get it, but it's so goofy. Such a strange... At least they didn't give him like the caveman strap, right? Like that one strap thing. I'm glad they didn't do that. That was always weird. But created by an unspecified team of creatives, among whose ranks were such noteworthy talents as Batman, the animated series writer Michael Reeves, and Young Justice creator Greg Wiseman, Gargoyles centers on a few remaining survivors of a wyvern clan, a group of the titular creatures who fled their home in ancient Scotland after its human inhabitants, giving in to their own fears of the unknown, moved to eradicate them from the land. Okay, this is gonna... Oh, they're gonna treat them like Native Americans, aren't they? They're gonna make them do... The Gargoyles are gonna do a Trail of Tears. Oh, man, they're gonna make like a Scottish Andrew Jackson, make them march. It's gonna be stupid, dude. Oh man. The Ellie Munoz? ComicsGate? Who are you again? You changing your name all the time. Cider leading the CG space right now. I don't know, dude. I just saw this and I saw some other stories on Bounding while I was fishing around for something to do, and I was like, I should tell other people about this misery. I shouldn't just internalize it like the rest of the stuff going on in the world. I should share in the misery, right? Right? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So JEC says, I think Eastman Laird sold out to the toy company early, around issue 2 or 3 of the original indie run. Toy company spun it out to a cartoon, which was a commercial for the toys. Ideally, this is what you'd want your cartoon to be, though. I mean, ideally. Plot's great and all, but you want it to move merchandise because it costs a lot. Apparently, I guess Eric July let people know that it was almost $200,000 or something to make that animated thing. Nuts. It looks great, but wow. You know, that AI thing is going to come fast, dude, at those prices. And you can't change it, though. I mean, look at it. It takes like 60 hours just to like animate a dude running if you're doing it frame by frame by frame by frame, you know, the right way. There's no easy way. Stupid Newfie says, wonder if they'll try to get Keith David back. The voice of didn't he pass away? I don't know. Is Keith David alive? Keith David. Yeah, currently alive. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it was another actor with a deep voice that passed away recently, I guess. Anyway. JEC says that's the Iron Man gargoyles. Yeah, Trump guy wore to fight them. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, hey, cool. Eyebright's here. No, Cider had a brief fling with the principal's niece, 6'7" Nordic woman. No. She wasn't that short. No. But anyway, Big G says, I had, that had an extravagant Malolo screen name for a purpose, Cider. Because I love you, bro. All of you will understand what I'm doing. Okay, dude. I'll understand someday. Or maybe when I'm not so high. I don't know, man. But JEC says, I think you're thinking about the guy who did Batman's voice. Oh, yeah, Kevin Conroy. That's right. Notably not that other guy. Very different from that other guy. Now I want to hear Kevin Conroy read lines for Goliath, though. That makes me sad. But Lance Riddick. That's right. That's the guy. He had a really cool name. And I thought that was the other guy with the deep voice that did the voice for Goliath. But it wasn't. It was the bald guy that played the bad guy in the failed Resident Evil show that was all about wokeness and not about zombies. Yeah. That's what he's known for, right? That's what he's known for. Pumafis says, I think he's still alive. King is one of the best characters in Platoon. Yeah, sure. But so there you go. This is the situation is Disney is going to give us, whether we want it or not, a live action series of the Gargoyles. I really wish they would just pilot this stuff as a movie. Like put together an hour and a half movie. To put together an hour movie and just put it up on Disney Plus. Like a pilot movie, right? Just kind of test the waters to see if the audience even wants to stomach a live action Gargoyles. Now, that sounds kind of cool, but really think about what they did with the live action Transformers, right? Just try to think about like, oh yeah, Optimus Prime's going to look so cool transforming for the first time in live action. And then this CGI monstrosity with a mouth showed up. Like Optimus had lips. Like who thought that? Ugh. I want to meet that guy and just sit down with him and ask him if he like strangled kittens as a child. The guy that came up with Optimus having lips. It was the weirdest thing when like his faceplate went back and there was a mouth. I was like, what? Huh? Is he going to eat him? Is that why that's there? Is he going to pick up Sam Witwicky and just like, you know, munch him off like the top of one of those Airhead bars? Is that going to be the end of Sam Witwicky? And so, you know, we could end up with like some really gross looking live action gargoyles, man. Like they're gargoyles. So like, they're probably not going to look cuddly. And with you remember She-Hulk? Gosh, And then they're going to do a 7-foot purple Goliath with big old leather bat wings on his back and a swish swooshy lizard tail. Oh, yeah, that's not going to look like ass. It's not going to look like ass. Oh, well. Swift Fox Mark II says this show is going to have lots of gay fairies. Most likely, they're not gonna miss the opportunity to like give Brooklyn a peeping Tom arc. I mean, you can feel that. You could just thinking about Disney being in charge of it. You know they're gonna drench it in LGBTQ sex stuff. They're gonna kink it up. They're just gonna run. It's gonna be just the grossest thing. I can't wait till like they have Goliath doing the walk of shame like they did with Daredevil. You think She-Hulk's gonna fuck Goliath? Think she's gonna bring home the big old purple gargoyle fella? Have a statue in her bed with a big old stone dick poking up out of him in the morning? Yeah, they'll do it. You know they will. You know they will. And they'll market for kids too. Marsupial Gamer says, just think of the live action Morbius. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, his little crazy bat face they did with Morbius? That's what they're going to do with the gargoyles. They're going to have like a crazy leather mutated fangy face thing. Awful. I'm Bright Echoes it. He says, Echoes, get it, right? Pun, yeah. Morbius produced so many damn memes. Yeah, this will too. I guarantee it. It'll just be like do you remember that time in Assassin's Creed Odyssey where like their faces kept like disappearing mid cutscenes? You just had like floating teeth and eyeballs yelling at you about colonial France. It'll be like those memes, just horrors, man-made horrors beyond our comprehension. Thanks, Disney. Swift Fox Mark II. I got to say it slow because it's a tongue twister. Fae were a significant race in the show, so get ready for trans Fae. Oh, there'll be at least one. There'll be at least one that's a trans Fae. That's the thing. I hope that they go and do like now that they've got like new writers on everything, I hope they go and do like the one that's not passing. And it's just really hard. You know, it's like that one's like, oh man, all the magic in the world, and I can't get this stubble to go away. Firebuzz is Batman gone woke. I don't know. According to Bounding into Comics, the Batman movie has gotten sued. There's a penciler that is big mad. I'm trying to dig up the story. Just give me a minute here. And there's a penciler that's pissed as shit that somebody took his stuff. And let me bring it up here. Here we go. Penciler Chris Wozniak lawsuit against Warner Bros. And DC over the Batman is going to trial. Apparently, it was just that real. You know, apparently it was just that big of news right now. Penciler and aggrieved Batman writer Chris Wozniak is going to trial with his lawsuit against Warner Brothers. Excuse me. He announced on his X not too long ago. That's Twitter, by the way, because Elon's a child and can't be bothered to just leave things as they are. They all have to have X's in them. It's like the number 23 with that guy. He's just it. I wish he would grow up and just leave things alone. There's nothing wrong with Twitter. There's nothing wrong with that name. There really wasn't. You could scrub all the political crap off of it, but no, we're stuck with X now. So we sound like we're space aliens trying to, or we're not trying to talk like we're trying to Voldemort the platform we use to communicate on. Like, yeah, I was talking on X today. I would use the real name, but I'm afraid I'll get like black bagged if I do. It's so bad. But anyway, he announced on his X not too long ago, and the creator believes that he has a tenable chance at victory. This is in his court case about something, which we'll find out later in this article. He wrote in a series of posts that he is tired of the threats from their lawyers and that they have no legs in this case. No legs, right? Like a certain yellow triangle. Quote, Warner Brothers and DC Comics attorneys are embarrassingly still making the same threats they started out with. I thought I was clear at the start. I'm here for the long haul. We're going to trial, Wozniak wrote in his initial post using the hashtag Batmangate. It doesn't roll off the tongue, does it? Batmangate. Batmangate. It's Batmangate. What was Batgate to, like, you know, Adam Westy? Were you afraid of exploding sharks if you said Batgate? Come on, Batgate is way cool. Batmangate. It sounds so goofy. It's like a Saturday morning. It's like a cartoon title, like the Batman the Animated Series. You remember Batman the Brave and the Bold? Like, this would be a title of, like, Batmangate, where Batman gets found out for being part of Watergate or something. Like, he's been wiretapping the president's phone lines or something. This does not sound, it doesn't sound real. That's the hardest part with Batmangate. Batmangate. I'm high, in case you can't tell. In the past year, he was threatened with legal action for writing an unsolicited Batman story. You can't do that. You can't, bro, you cannot write things if people don't let you write them, okay, bro? Like, don't write things that you're not allowed to write about, especially when you don't know that you're not allowed to write about them. That's the best way to go about not writing about them, is not knowing that you're not allowed to write about them. It's flawless. This is how they get you, right? You can submit scripts all you like and stuff like that. This is why DC, by the way, if you don't know, you pop over to DC.com, Marvel.com, you go into there, contact us, blah, blah, blah. They explicitly say in the teeny tiny little fuck you font that no, do not submit your stuff to us. We do not want your stuff. We think it's shit. We've got our own shit that's deep enough. We don't need your shit. They should get Christopher Walken to handle their press conferences to tell people this. It'd be great. Because people hear, like, Todd McFarlane's story, right? Sorry, I'm up here. I've got some snot in my throat. So they hear Todd McFarlane's story, and he's like, yeah, so what I did was I just harassed DC, Marvel Comics, whoever the hell they were. I fucking harassed them into hiring me. I just fucking kept blowing up their goddamn mailbox. Like, not like Ted Kaczynski, Unabomber style, blowing up fucking mailboxes, but like blowing them up as in like sending them shit all the time. Like odd after odd after odd after odd, like sharp and pointy capes, Spider-Man with the weird goopy webs. Spaghetti webs, yeah, Todd McFarlane. So they hear that story and they're like, oh, that can be me. I can be the next Todd McFarlane. So they send stuff to DC, and DC goes, what the fuck is this? And instead they hire an ex-glowy, like fucking, what's his face, Tom King, to write Batman getting cucked by an Aquaman stripper. It's great. It's great. Anyway, back to the article about Warner Brothers getting sued. He, of course, worked at DC Comics when he penned the treatment he potentially claims was ripped off by the studio. It went unpublished, but was emailed to Batman movie producer Michael Uslan? To Michael in 2008, according to Wozniak, as an idea for a film. Really? Really? 12? 13, what is it? 13 years, 14 years now? That's, I don't know. I'm not good at math. And that's a lot of time to just sit around on a Batman story. Right? Doesn't that seem like a long time to sit around on something? Are you that, like, bereft of creativity you can't think up a story from this decade to do with Batman? You got to go all the way back to before Obama? Let me just put that into perspective, right? This is the kind of time frame we're talking about. Before Obama. That's when this apparent Batman ripoff thing, right? Well, this guy's Batman that got ripped off thing was written. That's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I got to highlight this or I'll lose my place. We'll pop back over to chat, see what you guys are up to. What do you think about all this? This is nuts, right? I think it's nuts. Oh, we got Larry Niobe. Howdy doody. Howdy doody. But, yeah, so JEC says that story has been around a while, I think. I think he really has a case. Their own story isn't that close, really. We'll see. I don't think he really has a case, is what he says. Boo Brancher says, I still call it Twitter. X is a dumb name. Yeah, thanks. It's pretty dumb. Bebop Bandicoot says, this is my childhood and now I'm... Whoa. I can't say that on YouTube. So I don't have to live in the 21st century anymore. Well, consider the Walt Disney option where you cryogenically freeze yourself. That worked out pretty well for Fry. He ended up with like a Cyclops purple-haired girlfriend who was kind of conservative. I don't know about you, but she definitely did roundhouse kicks like Chuck Norris, okay? And you don't roundhouse like that unless you vote for Trump. And that's just, I'm sorry, it's a fact of life. It's a fact of life. His ex? No, wrong X. This is X, the platform, not the space company, the kid, or any multitude of other things he's named X, because he's just that good, guys. He's just that good. Yeah, well, what he's doing is, this is for new accounts, apparently. So what he's going to do is, like, if you sign up after this point, you will need to pay him $1 to prove you're not a bot. Sorry, I needed a drink. Got a drink from time to time. JEC says, I will never give you $1, Elon. Never. Okay, well, don't make a new account. It's that simple. But that's just, it's a bot control. Because, like, you get thousands of bots showing up, and what Elon gambles is that these guys are not going to, like, throw $1 out there on the off chance that they end up scooping some idiot that clicks a phishing link, Yeah. JEC says Batgate was CVID. Oh, yeah, okay. That's why he didn't do it. Still, that's lame. Sick. Wozniak is and always will be Steve Wozniak? Okay. I don't know. Batman is Q. I thought that's what the Riddler was in this, right? Wasn't he supposed to be some kind of, like, truth teller, spreader, something like that? Autismo magician? I don't know. Peter Orchard Studios says, what's up, everyone? Oh, we're just gathered here talking about a Batman lawsuit and making our way around to this weirdo that went nuts on CG a little earlier. Tim Sheridan and his Fight ComicsGate for the Queers campaign. We'll get to that. Don't worry. I haven't forgot. Batman should be public domain by now. That's true. That's true. And I personally believe that they should put Batman, Superman, all the superheroes basically from DC they got that have not been created since 2000, year 2000, and put them in a vault, right? Put them in a vault. Lock them away for 50 years. Put away the DC superheroes. The world is perfect. The world is vibrant. You got so many things to work with in the DC universe itself, not the characters. Separate that from the environment, the landscape, the rules. One of the things I love about DC is they clarified how their power scaling works, right? It's a triangle of power, okay? At the top is the alien, right? Well, alien beats technology, right? So alien being Superman, Lex Luthor being technology. But get this. People don't notice this one, but there you go. Technology beats magic. Yeah, Lex Luthor is constantly getting Faust and the rest of those magical assholes all up in a freaking huff. He pulls them into order. There's no reason why people who fight with Dr. Fate should fear Lex Luthor. But they do, because technology trumps magic in the DC universe. And here we go. Here's the connector back to the top of the triangle. Magic beats alien. I love that triangle. I copied and pasted it into my universe. I love it. It's perfect. It answers so many questions about how you can orchestrate battles and make them interesting. It's how you can create characters that'll always be nemesis to each other, even when they're friends. It's great. Love it. DC totally ignores it. And over at Marvel, they're like, whoever, Captain Marvel's the strongest person until she gets punched in the face. I don't know. And it's just, even the Infinity Gauntlet doesn't have rules anymore. So, But yeah, everybody should be public domain and locked in a vault. You're right. Absolutely. You're right. Firefly says, new Batman issue spoilers. Batman is going to go, my pronouns are he, him, and makes out with Plastic Man for 40 pages. Wow. They're really cutting back, you know? You'd think that would be like a 50-page makeout session, right? Because they want to make it holographic. So when you turn the page, you can see the tongue, Plastic Man's tongue wiggling out of Batman's ears. Right, not the bad ears, the human ears, because it'd be really weird if it came out of the bad ears, right? But like the human ears, you like see his like Plastic Man tongue coming out of his ear. You know, that's how you know they're really Frenching. That's like a French Revolution kiss, right? Get down deep in there, right? Bebop Bandicoot says Tom King is a spook, and as they always say, once a spook, always a spook. Never, ever trust him. You're absolutely right. He's a pony-faced liar. Isn't that what Biden calls him? Pony-faced liar. Swift Fox Mark II says, keep in mind, Deep Space Nine was a ripoff of Babylon 5 and Paramount blatantly stole from JMS. This happens all the time. Oh, sure. It's just when they decide to sue over it that it matters, right? Yeah, a lot of people have the misfortune of finding out I have a channel and I don't have anybody around to keep me, from getting too high and rambling about dumb shit for too long. Sorry. If you like that stuff, though, feel free to hit like and subscribe. I do funny voices, especially when I'm high. JEC says, it's a BS case. It's jackasses like this that ruin it for everyone. People are afraid to read spec scripts because some dingbat like this is going to sue them. And, sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes you submit a script, right? There was a guy in India that sued somebody, some franchise, I forget which one it was, for his fanfic being like a 1-to-1 of the movie. I think it was Star Trek, but his like fanfic was like 1-to-1 to the story they created or something. And again, it's like sticking a million chimps in a room full of typewriters. Eventually they'll chuck out Shakespeare. And I wish the law would apply more of that logic to it, right? Like, you got the judge, you got your jury, but there's moreover like, okay, we got to remember there's 7 billion people on this planet. Like 5 billion of them use the internet. 4.5 billion of them talk to each other on that internet. So eventually you're just going to end up copying somebody just by mistake. There's no way around it. Firefly says, this actually will happen. Trust me, my parents are Batman and Plastic Man. Oh, that explains the egg that Plastic Man turned into. Okay. I was wondering why he turned into an egg. And then now we know, because he was giving birth to Firefly. Wow, that is a statement. Plastic Man giving birth. This is what DC has given us, the ability to dream of these horrors now, these man-made horrors beyond our comprehension. Einbright says, I've taken to calling it Zitter, I don't know. It's just goofy enough to make me chuckle. Eddie Brock says, leave it to Obama to ruin it. Thanks, Obama. Yeah, thanks, Obama. Exactly. This all started with Obama. You want to know why you got Batman? You get the Batman being sued? Yeah, you want to know why? Obama. That's why. Obama. Zitter is gold. Yeah? All right. Zitter it is, or Exeter, or I don't know. Shitter? Is it the Chinese pronunciation of X? Like, you know how Xi Jinping's name in Chinese is actually Xi Jinping? Is it shitter? Is that how you say it? Did I do it right? Did I Chinaman enough? You have to let me know when I eventually catch up, like 25 minutes from now. But anyway, Bebop Bandicoot says, nothing is sacred nor safe anymore in Western society, especially for children. Gargoyles is the next one to go. Black pills for all. Exactly. You should check out the Black Pill stream on Bounding Into Comics on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. That's right. I push buttons on there. Peter Orchard Studios says, Tim blocked me. Yeah, he blocked a lot of guys. We'll get into that. Hopefully some of the people that got blocked by him want to come on and talk about it. I don't want to interact with the fella. I think that's how you get internet herpes sometimes. So I don't know. But Ellie McComicsGate says Steve Wozniak built the first Apple and Steve Jobs stole it. The Battle of the Steves. The Battle of the Steves. That's right. The Battle of the Steves. You know, I wish that they would. Oh, man. You remember that claymation wrestling show where it was just gore? It was like late night on MTV and it was just claymation figures just goring. Oh, man. It was really bad. Well, it was great, but it was also like, whoa, I'm too young to be watching this because I was a tiny cider at the time. But I forget the name of that one. I'll find out later when I scroll down in the chat and you people are yelling it at me right now. But yeah, like they should have like a battle of the Steves in there where they beat each other to death with computers, like the old Mac Lisas. Like you could beat a man to death with a Mac Lisa. You could actually, it had a handle on it. You could just grab onto it and just like wha-bam a fella, you know? If you were so inclined to wha-bam fellas. The video game guy? I don't know. There's so many Steves, and they're mad at each other, apparently. Marsupial Gamer says, these people I've never heard of keep popping up to fight CG. It's just cloud chasing by failed nobodies. Yeah, well, you know, when you're begging people to buy your Alan Scott comic, I mean, ooh, wow. It is a bad time in the old town, huh? It's a bad time in the old town. Pony-faced dog soldier. That's right. The pony-faced dog. Forgive me. I'm not dementia riddled and I don't poop myself in front of the Pope often. And so I wouldn't know, you know, I don't keep up on my Bidenisms anymore. But, Bebop Bandicoot says, so what is Darkseid on the triangle? Who does that beat? Who beats him? Mind you, Darkseid is a transcendent conceptual god from the Platonic concept God sphere outside of the DC universe. Correct. So he doesn't obey the triangle. It's that simple. He's outside of the universe. Just like the Source doesn't obey the triangle. And then whoever the fat British guy that comes around and lore pukes. Remember the fat British guy? He's like the Source's Silver Surfer, but he's like Watson, and he's fat and British. Swift Fox Mark II says, there needs to be a Batwoman issue where she dates a trans lesbian, and then we can all sit back and watch the cat furry fights on X. Yeah. Yeah, but see, I just don't want to hear it anymore. That's the other thing, right? How about we just don't make any more Batwoman comics, huh? You know? Like Kate Kane had like promise, but then they were like, nah, we're going to lean into your dad issues. That's all you're going to be you're mad at your dad. That's it. Oh, he did a breakdown of the script. Oh, it isn't anything like the final movie. That's weird. That's weird. Oh, thank you, John Dacre. Thank you. I appreciate being the best Chinaman. Yeah, Celebrity Deathmatch. That's the one. Celebrity Deathmatch. They should make the Steves fight each other and beat each other to death with MacBook leases. Mac leases. It wasn't a MacBook then. They didn't even know what the hell a MacBook. A MacBook was the owner's manual on how to operate the son of a bitch. That's what it was. Marsupial Gamer says, wait, no, it was Dog-Faced Pony Soldier, but I still blame Obama. Yeah, it's okay. You know, I think everybody should. I don't think the blame Obama ticket has run out yet. I don't think you get a free coffee yet. Still got a few more holes to punch. Yeah, how about we not make any more Batwoman comics based? Yeah, exactly. We just, Kane's useless. She's just like, my dad, I'm in the rain and I'm sad because my dad. Oh no, my dad. And that's all it is. That's it. That's it. So now we know the DC Comics former employee or current employee, Steve Wozniak, the one that didn't do the video game, the one that pencils apparently, he's very mad. He is very mad at Warner Brothers for stealing his Batman stuff from 2008. Yep. That's what's happening. There you go. You're up to date as far as I know. And I'm bored of that. So we're going to move on to this because this has like cool colors and a very provocative title. Guess what? Warner Brothers Discovery foments fears DC will be sold as they license the ThunderCats and other IPs to Dynamite Comics. Now, you might be wondering, what the fuck? You might be asking yourself, who the fuck is Dynamite Comics and why the fuck did they end up with these? I asked myself that question as well because formerly Dynamite Comics was like that. Like, if you ever heard of it, we have a comic of it kind of company. They have like Vampirella and just a slew of other bizarre oddities that they maintain a print run on so they don't lose licensing to, I guess, or copyright or whatever. And yeah, a lot of it's been very flat. Over the years, very, very flat. But apparently they've got the ThunderCats and other IPs now wrestled away from Warner Brothers DC Comics. Warner Brothers own DC Comics. Oh no. Heavens to Murgatroyd. What are they going to do, guys? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Are you excited about Dynamite Comics with, who's the guy in charge of it? Nick Barucci being at the helm of ThunderCats. Oh, that's too long, right? That's way too long. But I'm not on a mountaintop either. That's way better when you're at the top of the mountaintop. Yeah, no, yeah. Lion-O. Yeah, let me see if I can find those. That's some great shit. Thank you for reminding me about those. The ThunderCats. I'm sorry. I just this is great. This is great stuff. Here we go. It's nice ye olde YouTube from 13 years ago with nice. I made this in iMovie or Windows Movie Maker. This looks like Windows Movie Maker. Here we go. And eventually,
You gotta snap out of it, Lion-O! Call the ThunderCats before.
Shut up, you fuck. I should have known the Territor didn't mean us any harm when the Sword of Omens didn't obey me. And anyway, it was just plain stupid to assume it might be bad. Just what the fuck am I talking about?
What the fuck am I talking about? I love it. I love it, dude. This is what it's like when you're doing theater, right? When you're doing theater. And this is where I come from. I used to do stage acting before I got sick, and I won awards for it. Okay, I'm not ashamed to admit I'm a thespian. But yeah, this is what it's like. You're like reading your script for your audition or whatever, and you're like, what the fuck does any of this mean? Why? Who speaks like this? This is not a human being. Sure enough, it's not. It's a cat man. So I totally sympathize with this. I totally. Speaking of cat men, Mr. John Delarose coming to us all the way from the very safe country of El Salvador. That's right. Very safe country of El Salvador. They've put all those nasty MS-13 fellas into jail and didn't give them a place to potty. So now they know not to be criminals. If they want to poop, they got to obey the law. Yep, that's how it goes. The ThunderCats is a dope IP. Right, exactly. Like, come on. Like, who is sleeping on this? Like, Cartoon Network did a really dumb reboot where they leaned way too hard into the anime side of what they were trying to do there. I mean, it's a great story. Like, Thundera is fucked. And so the survivors come to Middle-earth, and Middle-earth is just as fucked, but it's not like explodey fucked. So they can save it from a weird asshole that does magic roids in a pyramid. A lightning-powered pyramid, you know? And it laughs like a Muppet. It's great. It's great. And evil spirits of the underworld, lend me your power. Right? That's what he said, right? It was something like that. Maybe there's a blooper for that in here, huh?
About. It's when Wily Cat and Kid are pretending to be the most helpful that they're dropping their pens on the thing while I'm talking. Let's find the mega condenser. I'm saying that too fast. Let's find the mega condenser. Still going too fast.
What's wrong, Lion-O?
fuck, here it is again.
What? Oh, fuck. Here it is again. I gotta cut that out for a ringtone, dude. I gotta have that for a ringtone. It's Lion-O. Oh, fuck. Here it is again.
Still going too fast.
What's wrong, Lion-O?
Oh, fuck, here it is again.
What's here again?
That thing, that mega thing.
Want me to say it?
Yes!
I'm going to put this one right between her pretty.
That's the line of the show right here.
Oh, that's great. That's beautiful. Oh, man. Richie Dube says, I dated an actress in the 90s. Are you single, Cider? Of course I am. I shit in a bag. John Del Rosa says, I'm actually in less safe, in a very less safe communist of the Republic of California. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry about that. Sorry you had to come home. Yeah. Sorry I had to come home. Bebop Bandicoot says, yeah, I didn't like that 2011 reboot at all. Too young adult soap opera-y for me. And I just wanted the high concept, fantastical feel from the original. Yeah, like what's wrong with cat people fighting a mummy and a lizard frogman and his dopey Snake Mountain friends, right? Wasn't it Snake Mountain they were? Or is that Skeletor? Anyway, they were in a giant snake that was puking lava. You know, that's where the mutant lizard men hung out all the time. And then they had like cool like vehicles and stuff. And that's how the Thunder Tank had to show up. But they were from space and it was a weird alien world that they were fighting on. And now that 2011 thing was like, well, did you ever see the Avatar The Last Airbender? Yeah, how about that? Let's just do that. Let's just do that with the ThunderCats. Let's do that. And Panthro can lose his arms. It'll be great. Don't ask questions. Not John Dacre says JDA, but remember what tomorrow is. That's right, tomorrow. That's right. You need to be in Holy Legion to find out what tomorrow is. It's a very important day. It's a very important day tomorrow.
Put off that blasted Samoflange.
What the fuck is a Samoflange?
It's great that they had them all in the recording booths at the same time. Like I don't know if this happens anymore, but back in the day, that's how they used to do it. I'm not sure if this is how they do it anymore after COVID, where everybody can just record shit at their house or whatever. But I don't know. Like that's great. We're like they're hearing some of the words said out loud for the first time that weren't their lines to speak in the show, and that's it.
That blasted Samoflange.
What the fuck is a Samoflange?
I have to do that again.
Oh, Lion-O, we're not.
What's the matter, Snarf?
You got a cold.
I got a COVID. I got COVID. Lion-O! I got COVID! Oh no, Lion-O! Snarf, I got COVID! Hello, Henry Throne. We're just listening to the outtakes of ThunderCats here as we work our way around to the fantastic story of Tim Sheridan showing his ass to the world. Not really, that was Robbie Rodriguez that did that. He's showing his ass in a different way. John De La Rose says, why does the public broadcasting system for which I pay taxes disable the chat for our duly elected president's speech? Well, it's corporations, right? Corporal. Right, corporal. Nah, never mind.
A cold.
Motherfucker!
What's the matter, Snarf?
You got a cold.
Motherfucker!
Oh, man. That's great.
You fucking dog, yeah! Shut the fuck up! Get over here, bitch! Ah, damn!
Run out the fucking plank, boys!
Come here, motherfucker. Thunder! Thunder! ThunderCats! I'm going too high. You've got to get back to the lair, Panthro, before those mutants do something drastic.
Come on, Hyman, get yourself together. Go ahead,
I want to see your tits, my dear.
Oh man. Oh man, I gotta work on my Mumra voice. That's one hell of a pickup line, right? You roll up dressed up like Mumra, be like, I want to see your titties, my dear. It's great. Oh man. Yeah, well, you spend all your time hanging around with statues and a lightning-powered pyramid, you'd probably be a little touchy too, Those long, lonely nights in the lightning-powered pyramid with just the creepy spirits of evil, the underworld, whoever they were, staring at you as you just gaze into your pink pool of prediction. Evil prediction at that. Ooh, spooky. Yeah. Yeah, I am. Whatever. You want to fight about it? It's legal, right? It's legal here. You want to fight about it? You're fed? You glowy? Is that what happened? You went down there, learned how to shoot a sniper rifle with the president of El Salvador, and then all of a sudden you're just down with the knotweed? Come on.
Can't stand it. Going to pass out.
Can't hold on to it any longer.
Well, that was a thing that happened. Meanwhile, back at the story that started all of this, right? Warner Brothers Discovery foments fears DC will be sold as they license ThunderCats and other IPs to Dynamite Comics. Here we go. Who knew? DC now stands for Dynamite Comics. Warner Brothers Discovery is licensing out treasured characters and franchises in their vault to a DC competitor when they own the historic publisher. That's weird. That is weird, right? I don't know. Dynamite will publish comics based on ThunderCats, Space Ghost, and excuse me, and more. Which has onlookers worried WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, is fixing to cut bait with their iconic comic book arm. I see. So they're testing the waters by putting out stuff like the ThunderCats and Space Ghost, stuff that's not like intrinsically tied to the DC label, right? It'd be different if they were like, yeah, Nick Marucci, do you want to take Batman for a spin for a couple of years? Yeah, no, just $350. That's all we need. Just $350. You get that Batman for 3 years. It'd be great. It's Dynamite Batman. Wonderful. Anyway, quote. This is from Bleeding Fool. Our friends over at Bleeding Fool. Great guys over there at Bleeding Fool. Feel free to follow them on X or Shitter if you like it. That's Shitter with an X, the Chinese spelling. Dynamite Comics and Warner Brothers Discovery have partnered to release a range of new comics based on Warner Brothers' intellectual properties, including the ThunderCats, the Flintstones, the Powerpuff Girls, Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, the Wizard of Oz, the We Bare Bears? Is that the one from Cartoon Network with the three brother bears that just, I don't know, get into shenanigans? Is that what that is? Anyway. Everybody who has predicted a grim fate for the gutted DC has taken notice. Yeah, anybody that gives a shit, right? Like I noticed because like the ThunderCats thumbnail, right? I was like, whoa, that's badass. Like this is badass. Like somebody sat down and they were like, I like Lion-O. I want to make him look like a badass. And that's why I'm here, is because of the thumbnail. So when you're out there doing this stuff, remember the thumbnail counts. That's why you're here, because the thumbnail counted. Anyway, back to the article. notable Clownfish TV owner and co-host Neon says that should have been DC. It used to be DC, he wrote. That's not a good sign, he added. It means Warner Brothers is very open to shopping around its IPs to different comic publishers, even though they own a major comics publisher themselves for now. Disney made a similar deal with Dynamite and IDW before them, which I mean before DC, I guess, right? So it looks like the big two there, Marvel and DC, are parting out their extra IPs, the stuff that they picked up along the way when they were high on the hog, if you will. Disney tested the waters with IDW, and it didn't work out. Well, that Heather Antos works there. What did you expect to happen? Heather Antos works there. Like, that's your own minefield when you bring stuff to IDW. Like, yeah, she's over at Star Trek. But do you think there's like a wall there with no doors in between? Like, no, we don't go over there. That's the Star Trek part of IDW, and we just don't go there. That's walled off. There's a force field. There's goblins guarding the gateway. We can't cross the goblins. You know, no, that's not how it works. They talk to each other. They don't meet at the water cooler. They have lunch together. We saw they're all on a freaking Whisper network together anyway. Of course, you send stuff to IDW and it dies on the vine. Of course. What do they expect to happen? Jeez. Anyway. Twitler says, how much gabagool are you on today? I don't do gabagool, okay? That's not my racial background. I'm the other white. I'm the white that does saltine crackers. That's the white I am. Can't you tell? I'm the same color as a saltine. JEC says they had no plans for the ThunderCats. So they let Dynamite pay them to advertise their old IP for them. See, that's the logic that the guys running the show are applying here. But why not just do it yourself, right? Make a toy deal. Go to Hasbro and be like, hey, man, that Power Rangers shit sucks out loud. You want to run some ThunderCats stuff and we'll put together a comic to go with it? I mean, like you buy a toy and the comic's inside the blister pack. They can make that happen. That's not hard for them. But instead, they're letting them out. And that tells me that they can't make enough money in their own, their own in-house stuff off these properties. They're sending them out to make money on them. That's not good. That's not a good thing. ThunderCats isn't hard, like we just talked about earlier. ThunderCats, you don't even really have to try. Just explaining the world is an epic in and of itself, Explaining how Lion-O became the leader of the ThunderCats on Earth, the chaos that happened on Thundera, and Jago was the ghost, right? That was his name. Then Jago showing up and being like, Lion-O, your shit's fucked. You got to save all the bullshit because you're the king of the ThunderCats or something, whatever. It's not hard. It's not hard to write the ThunderCats. And again, it's not like I'm saying it's not like important to take it seriously. I'm not saying you can half-ass it. I'm just telling you, it's not like you're trying to sit down and put together some comic about a historical event that you don't want to piss off the living relatives of, like making a Nikola Tesla comic where he does lose his virginity or something, right? I mean, it's like that, I think I forgot what I was talking about. Twitler says, I think Marvel IDW stuff predated Antos. Whatever. They knew she was coming. That's what happened. Everything shriveled up because she was coming. She was on her way. The herald of Heather Antos had arrived and let everyone know, I guess. JEC says, making your own comics costs money. You bet it does. This way the comic gets made and they get paid anyway up front. Again, the guys up front are saying that, but they're not going to get the stuff that Dynamite produces from here. The way that these IPs work is that's why all this licensing crap with the stories happens, where they want to tell secret empire with like Nazi cap, but they can't because it's scattered out over so many different people, and they'd have to pay royalties to them. So anything that Dynamite creates is going to be stuck with Dynamite forever. It's not going to ride with the IP. They can't pay the royalties behind that when they borrow that story to develop it into anything further. So whatever happens at Dynamite, that's it. Success or failure, that's it. It goes no further than that. It's very bizarre to license a property like the ThunderCats out, which again, just about any time it's released out into the public, it goes bonkers in the market. But whatever. They're stuck out sideways like Lion-O. Yeah. Where am I at? Which story am I at? There we are. It didn't work out. The company began flailing in the wind since then and lost market share. Another ex-user raised an important question as to who Dynamite's books are aimed at, Gen X or younger. You know, is there any property made for kids anymore? Really? I mean, you got your little CGI stuff that the Chinese and the Indians are importing into Netflix and all of the Disney, subversive, be gay, cut your dick off programming they got going on there. Is there anything like actually made for kids though? Like, I don't know if you guys recall this stuff, but like Lamb Chop, stuff like that. I guess that's what that bent key thing is from Ben Shapiro's mess he's doing over there. He's trying to create a children's offering streaming service that's kind of stripped of agenda. Again, Daily Wire, maybe not. I don't think Dynamite's books are aimed at Gen X or younger. I think they're just aimed at Gen X because, like, most people born after 2003 are not going to know who the hell the ThunderCats are. That 2011 reboot died on Toonami. Like, it went nowhere fast. I think it got a season and a half, and they just shit canned it. It went to Adult Swim for a little while, and it was completely wiped out of their offering for a while. I don't even think it's on Netflix. I don't think you can even get it on Netflix or whoever Cartoon Network partners with their shit now. Weird. Anyway, and how they plan on retaining an audience. Making this point with Chris Farley meme, Neon responded, "No idea." See? There it is. You see it? Yeah, it's a fat guy, and he doesn't have any idea either. That's right. There is some excitement to be had, and no one is more excited than Dynamite CEO Nick Barucci. He's, quote, says, Warner Brothers has been at the heart of entertainment in America and across the world for an incredible 100 years and home to so many beloved stories and franchises, he said. We're incredibly excited to bring many of them back to comics or for the first time to comics, or to comics for the first time, as we work with Warner Brothers Discovery and wonderful creators to bring all new stories to the fans. Great. Like I said, it's all locked in their licensing department. So whatever success or failure they have here belongs entirely to Nick Barucci. When they lose this license, they can't print that stuff anymore. It's just such a bizarre gamble with this. But clearly they're testing the waters of whoa, Panthro. Holy, whoa. Somebody's been hitting the bench. Jeez. Holy crap. Apparently, Bleeding Fool went on to write, projected to start publishing in early 2024 with the first title, ThunderCats by Declan Shalvey, launching in February. Fans can look forward to a diverse range of diverse... Don't like that. Don't like that at all. A diverse range of stories featuring top-tier writers and gorgeous art. Who knows? It might get crowdfunded, Dynamite's not below that. They did all those Vampirella covers. I can't imagine why they wouldn't crowdfund ThunderCats, right? I mean, the Power Rangers thing from Boom Studios went nuts. they sold close to $500,000 worth of stuff. Like the ThunderCats can get close to that, right? Some of those beloved characters have never had their own comic or graphic novel before. Roach, Bleeding Fool, in their full coverage. If you'd like to know more about that, check out Bleeding Fool, right? Check out Bleeding Fool. But now, I guess we'll move around to this sad state of affairs with Tim Sheridan, right? I don't know how you feel about this. I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it in the sense that, yeah, we got to go like rough this guy's feathers up or anything. I don't like it because it signals to me that a corporation that has 100 years under its belt, or at least a character that has 100 years under his belt, is swinging on an internet movement. They're trying to make sales off an internet movement. You see, when the independents go out and they critique the corporation, right? The big bad corporation. When the independents do this, it makes sense. The little guy versus the big guy, the Goliath and David situation, right? So when an independent challenges what the corporation is doing, right, it sounds really good. But when the corporation, the multi-million-dollar corporation, turns around and swats down on little old indies, well, shit's hit the fan, right? But according to Tim Sheridan, he needs his followers to purchase gay Alan Scott Green Lantern in order to defeat the evil of ComicsGate. So here we go. DC Comics writer Tim Sheridan recently begged his followers to purchase copies of the upcoming Alan Scott The Green Lantern series in order to own ComicsGate members. Now, that's the internet term own. They're not actually going to buy human beings unless they're going over to Gaddafi's country there, Libya. There's a great slave market over there right now, thanks to our Islamic friends who are very aggrieved over the situation in Israel, right? Anyway, back to this Green Lantern bullshit. Sheridan made his plea on X, or Shitter, if you prefer. He stated, quote, let me just highlight this. I'm here to ask you a favor. The book comes out next DC Tuesday, October 24th. But already the haters and the queerphobes, heavens to Betsy, not the queerphobes, ma! It's the call the cops! It's the queerphobes! The queerphobes are out in force doing everything they can to see that this book tanks. They use code, not binary, but like the dog whistles, right? The spooky, we're not going to say the word, but we mean the word, right? Woo. They use code and make it sound like they have legit problems with a book they haven't read yet. But the truth is, they just don't like that there's a queer hero in the upper ranks of the DCU. Oh no, those queerphobes, right? Yeah, J. Argonaut says, I love their made-up buzzwords, right? Like queerphobes. Queerphobes. A drink with crazy, Royce. Congratulations on all the madness you've been enduring over there. And that was one hell of a Rippa video, man. Yeah, that was quite a roller coaster, dude. I'm gonna let you. I did not know what was gonna happen when I clicked that thumbnail. But a drink with crazy says nobody in this space uses a code. We all called out bluntly. Yeah, we called it out bluntly. It's gay Alan Scott. We don't want that. It's weird. Stop doing that. Yeah, we call it out. Exactly. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's simple. It's like the Creature Commandos. It's just dumb. J. Argonaut says, I don't mind Marvel's North Star or DC's Obsidian. But again, like originally when these characters were introduced, their entire personality wasn't tied around being gay. Their existence was not to facilitate the agenda of gay visibility. And I mean gay as in like lesbian and gay and bisexual, whatever. Divergent sexuality visuals, right? Making people who live same-sex attracted lifestyles visible to everybody everywhere. So North Star, you wouldn't know he was gay until he went home or called his boyfriend or husband, whoever it was. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. He'd make an offhand comment, maybe, but that wasn't the whole gist of the character. He had a lot more going on with him, and of course, being part of the Alpha Strike, the Canadian Avengers, being part of that, he like had a lot on his plate to deal with that wasn't Dick, and that's the problem with making Alan Scott so gay. It's way over the top. There's no need for it. You can go home and just be like, hello, man, husband, hello. I am home from saving the world now. I brought you Green Lantern beer. Hal Jordan brewed it in his space basement. It's pretty great. And there it is. There you go. You don't have to show them shoving the bottles up their ass. It's pretty simple, Swift Fox Mark II says we should start using codes to break the algorithm. We do over. It's Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight. That's right. Alpha Flight. That's my bad. But we do on the Dank stream. We have code that YouTube thinks we're very interested in motocross. YouTube thinks that the Dank stream is all about motocross. we are definitely into dirt bikes over there. Bebop Bandicoot says, I miss when Alan got an evil alien plant woman pregnant and had a green-skinned alien daughter with lantern plant powers that was based on Power Ring and Starheart. Power Ring was that DC's Elseworld thing that Stan Lee did with the Justice League, right? He redid Superman, so he had neat blonde hair, and Wonder Woman was from South America, and Green Lantern was like the spirit of the jungle that was like pissed, I guess. I don't know. But that's basically Poison Ivy that glows in the dark. But, I give him points for trying. But I who the hell cares about Alan Scott? Who the hell cares about Alan Scott? Nobody. Nobody gave a damn. And then they're like, we'll make him gay because nobody cares. They thought they could get away with it, right? That's really the most insidious thing about this is they take characters that are not headliners or have long past relevance, and they're like, oh, we'll make them interesting again by making them gay. Right? Because that everybody's interest is revised when you want to know who somebody's fucking, right? Who could sleep at night when they didn't know who Batman's dick was going in, right? I mean, how could you get through a Superman comic if you didn't know that Lois was gonna take it up the ass later on, huh? How do you get through Teen Titans with Dick Grayson getting blue-balled that hard? I mean, that guy, he put tassels on trying to get her attention, right? Tell you, Space Babes, right? Space Babes. Nightwing, the blue ballsiest, right? The blue ball wonder. But that's what they do. They're just like, oh yeah, no, we'll just make them gay and people will care about it. I mean, we do when they do that because it's pointless. It's insulting, too, because they're afraid of making new characters. And the other thing is they don't know how to make a character that is not explicitly their sexuality. Why did Daredevil have sex with She-Hulk in the She-Hulk series? Just fundamentally, why did Matt Murdock do that? That's not within his character. That's not that there's no like, I got really horny beating up bad guys, let's fuck. That's not Matt Murdock, okay? That's not, I'm covered in the blood of thugs. I really want to put my dick in something. That's not Matt Murdock, okay? And the other thing is how insulting it is on women, right? Like only the blind guy would fuck the tall muscle chick. Forget that she's green, but only the blind guy would fuck the tall muscle chick. Like, come on, man. They're dunking on themselves left and right with this accept all women stuff that they do, and everybody's body type matters. And don't body shame, that kind of thing. And they're like, no, only the blind guy. Only the blind guy's the one that feels safe fucking the jolly green giantess. At least he's not gay though yet. We don't know what Born Again was supposed to be, but they canceled that. If you don't know, by the way, they canceled that. So that's over with. You're welcome. I yell all the time. It's great. I love yelling. There's nobody here to tell me I can't yell. Swift Fox Mark II says, isn't the original Blue Beetle public domain? If so, CG should steal him. No, I don't think so. I think they did that fancy dancy thing that they did to what's his fuck there? Spider-Man, and they like extended the copyright thing with it. I think that's chiefly why there was a Blue Beetle movie at all that came out this year, was in order for the copyright to remain with some company. Warner Brothers, DC, somebody. Swift Fox Mark, yeah. This guy, he says, Daredevil, the only superhero to defeat a villain by having sex with her. Really? That happened? Matt Murdock fucks? I'm kind of beside myself. Honestly, I didn't think he was a cock or anything, but I just thought he was like, I'm saving myself for somebody special, not a 7-foot-tall green lady that I can't see. JEC says, pretty sure Matt effed She-Hulk a few times in the comics. Lawyers are degenerates. I've dated a few. Yeah, but I just thought he was like, the Catholic thing was the bigger end for him, right? Wasn't that it? Like, you know, not goofing before you get married if you could avoid it? I don't know. A Drink with Crazy says, are you trying to steal my thing? Yelling is my thing. Well, I yell. Everybody, I do things. I mean,
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Yeah, well, okay, right. I was gonna say, like, it's really weird. Like, he's just fucking She-Hulk. Like, you know, Catholics are super crazy in bed. Are you kidding? Well, I meant like, you know, like when you, married, right? You don't just like do that. You know, premarital sex is bad. I realized that he has sex in the comics. I just didn't think he was like, yeah, I beat the hell out of some criminals, so now I want to fuck the 7-foot-tall green girl I can't see. It's sorry. Chris Alry says Catholics don't have sex. The babies just spawn into the world. I heard they hatch. The Catholic babies hatch. But A Drink with Crazy says, I think we should fight on Twitter now. Everybody's doing it. Yeah, sure, why not? You know, make us something. You know, I like the White Ranger better than the Green Ranger. I know we're like in agreement on that, but you know, start there, I guess, right? We could work our way to conflict, I'm sure. Israel and Palestine found a way to start World War III. We can figure out something on Twitter, that's for sure. Oh, there's a video of Mr. Sheridan shooting his mouth off. Oh, now I feel silly. Aww. I'm gonna click my tongue. Aww. Is that gay enough? Aww. Here we go.
Hey, I'm Tim Sheridan, writer of DC's Alan Scott, the Green
And you will regret this, Tim Sheridan.
Lantern, and I just opened up a box of advanced copies of issue 1, which look amazing.
That doesn't. So, see, I took graphic design in high school for 3 years, right? And I know that's nothing special, but like, you know, when they're trying to teach you the basics of it and as you're getting going, they teach you the basics of it. And the basic of it is don't leave negative space. And this is the main. That cover is at least half negative space. It just doesn't. What a waste.
Cover, which also gets a virgin foil variant.
Oh, the gay Alan Scott gets a virgin foil cover.
And that's by the great and powerful David Talaski.
Wow. Look at that foil cover.
A virgin foil.
Look at that. That just furthers my point that like over half of this cover is just negative space. There's just nothing there.
Foil variant, and that's by the great and powerful David Talaski. There's also 2 other amazing variants, one by John.
Is that a Power Ranger? Let's get up on this. No, it's an emaciated Solomon Grundy.
K. Snyder III, and this beautiful portrait.
Oh, he edited it. It. What did he do? Did he too hard? Like, this is okay. Like, that white in the background annoys the hell out of me. Not the white guy in the foreground. All the blank white space in the background just annoys the hell out of me. Fill that in. Do something cool. Put some, put a ring. Sorry, bumped my face off the mic. Put a ring around that green circle behind him, right? Put a like a little light ring, not like a ring of power there, power ring, whatever the hell it is. No, not that, but like, put a white aura around that circle and just put like green smoke back there, like darker green smoke behind there. It's just so empty.
Portrait by Nick Robles. I am here to ask you a favor. The book comes out next DC Tuesday, October.
Are they really doing that now? Is this really what they're up to? They're naming days now. Do we have a national holiday for when DC puts out books now? Do we have a day on the calendar? DC Tuesday, everybody! Don't forget, you get DC Tuesday off next week. That's right. Don't forget, no school next DC Tuesday. Elmer says, blah, 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 variant, blah, 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 variant. Yep, that's what they do. When they're not talking about variant covers, they're talking about variant COVIDs, that's for sure. Bebop Bandicoot says, and it's Alex Ross's cover art. That's the tragic and cancerous. That's a tragic and cancer. Yeah, exactly. Well, not for him. He's pro all that. He painted up Biden to do the Uncle Sam pose and everything, just real important stuff, on the cusp of it. Boo Brancher says, I'm not into gay Green Lantern banging in a book. It's not my thing. I prefer big tits. Sorry, cuck. Yeah, well, they got Jessica Cruz out there, but they don't want to pay Ethan royalties to have her big bouncy Green Lantern boobies around, right? Oh, well. What happened to Sinestro's daughter? Like, she had some banging tits, right? Like, that cleavage, man, you could get lost in that Slim Jim red cleavage there. That weird beauty pie red cleavage. That's a weird crossover, huh? Bebop Bandicoot asks, tell me something, Cider. Why do people love variant covers so much? Are they clinical variant addicts and need to seek help? Some people do like collecting variant covers because, believe it or not, they do go up in price over time. Variants are usually printed at a lower number than the main cover. So thus they become automatically rare and like slabbable. And so that's usually what happens with them is folks that either in a collector market or the completion market want to have the variants for investment purposes as far as collecting to one day pay off thing. I suppose that's the trouble with a lot of these comics that are coming out now is that because there are so few of them that are actually being bought, there's so many of them that are being thrown away, and thus there will be few of the books that actually exist in the future, and thus the price of those books will go up simply because there's not many of them. Believe me, it worked for the Nash Motor Company. Nobody wanted a fucking Nash when it came out, but as soon as you couldn't get one, everybody and their brother wanted a goddamn Nash. JEC says, all the comics used to come out on Wednesday. Then DC decided they would start putting their books out a day earlier than everyone else for reasons. Yeah, right? Big brain reasons, galaxy brain reasons. We want to make sure that people have to make 2 trips to the comic book shop a week, right? DC Comics, keeping the brick and mortar of comics alive. Yeah, thanks, pal. Doing everybody a favor there. Bebop Bandicoot says, is it similar to later editions and expansions of games? Nah, not really. Usually a variant cover isn't like a DLC where like a new part of the story is revealed. It's just that. The cover's different. Sometimes they draw stuff that's totally unrelated to the story inside. That was one of the things that really annoyed me about Superman's early comics. This in fact, the one that drove me nuts as a kid. Like, I threw the comic to the ground. It was an old one, so I shouldn't have done that. But I threw the comic to the ground. It was Superman, ruler of Earth, I think it was. And so he's sitting on the throne. He's got his Mayan headdress on, and Jimmy and Lois are looking up at him. Jimmy's on his knees and Lois is covering her mouth and she's shocked. And Superman's speech bubble says, "Yes, Lois, you do have to call me your majesty." And the book inside had nothing to do with Superman being king of Earth. Drove me nuts. Speaking of things that drive me nuts, let's get back to this weirdo.
24th, but already the haters and the queerphobes are out in force.
The queerphobes. Why is Biden not employing the FBI to deal with these queerphobes? They're everywhere. Apparently, they're being employed. They're being deployed. Why aren't we sending the queerphobes to fight the Palestinians, or the other way around, depending on what day it is? What are we doing? Come on. Get with it. We got this army of queerphobes we need to deal with here. This domestic queerphobist. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Doing everything they can to see that this book tanks. They use code and they make it sound like they have.
They use code, right? We're just banging away on the keyboard all the time, coding up these things to say nasty stuff about gay Alan Scott. That's right. Our ones and zeros binarying our way into your butt fucking. Oh, yeah.
Legit problems with a book they haven't read yet.
Okay, it's okay to judge things. It's okay to judge a book by its cover. That phrase usually applies to humans, okay, not actual books. It's very annoying that this is the default response to these creators. Is, you haven't seen it yet. How do you know it sucks? I don't know. Somebody hands me a sandwich that's got peanut butter and glass in it, shattered glass in it. I don't think I'm going to taste that to find out if I don't or do like peanut butter and glass as a shattered glass as a sandwich, right? I can look at something. I have these things called eyeballs. They evolved over centuries, millennia, the turnings of the earth when crusts were underneath and above and volcanoes belched horrible things into the sky. Dinosaurs were around. Eyeballs evolved, okay? So we could perceive of things we're not supposed to put in our mouths or interact with, right? So when you see shit, you don't need to put your finger in it and lick it to know that it's shit.
But the truth is, they just don't like that there's a queer hero in the upper.
Honestly, I don't. I think that's stupid that that's how they define Alan Scott, right? That's reducing that guy. The only reason why you have a seat at this table, the only reason why we think you matter is because you're gay. It's because you're gay. You're gay. Gay.
Upper ranks of the DCU. The only way we can shut these people down is to make this book an undeniable success. The only way to prove to all the big publishers that there's a huge market for authentic stories about LGBTQIA+ characters.
Holy shit, that guy almost lost his breath trying to say all that. LGBTQIA+. Blah. Wow. Imagine when he gets that LGBTQIAA. No, it's S2 LGBTQAA+. No, it's LGBTQAA. No, it's S2 LGBTQQAA+. Okay, I got it. Okay, let's go.
And that these stories are for everyone.
No, they're not. See, I don't want to read about Alan Scott making out with a man. I don't even want to read about Alan Scott. That's the whole reason why you brought him back is so you can make him gay. He's not here to tell any new stories. He's not here to do anything neat. He's not here to do anything clever. He's just here to be like, hi, I'm gay, and you can't do anything about it.
Is to buy the heck out of books like this.
Buy the heck out of them. So those transphobes, they know that you're out there and you're supporting people who don't, you should buy these because they're good. Listen to how he says this. In his own heart, he doesn't believe it.
And that these stories are for everyone.
Listen to that. Let's just zap back for a second.
Of the DCU. The only way we can shut these people down is to make this book an undeniable success. The only way to prove to all the big publishers that there's a huge market for authentic stories about LGBTQIA+ characters, and that these stories are for everyone.
Look at that. He's like, and this story is here for everybody. It's like he had one of those greasy turds sliding out between his butt cheeks at that time.
Is to buy the heck out of books like this.
Buy the heck out of it, Quinn.
This one's only 6 issues, and each one has.
Yeah, he's got his Green Lantern ring on, like a 5-year-old. Mom, look, I got my Green Lantern ring on. When I fight the transphobes, when I fight the homophobes, I wear my Green Lantern ring, man. Look at me. I'm so strong with my Green Lantern ring fighting the phobes.
There's a few variants, so I'm asking, if you have the means, buy them up. Buy extra.
If you could afford going without cat food for yourself and your animals this week, please, for the love of God.
To give to people you think really need to read it.
Just give it to MAGA, right? Just buy it. Queer friends, go out and buy this Alan Scott thing and give it to them. Anybody with a red hat that you know, you should give them this book. They'll love you for it.
Now, you might say this sounds like a great way for Tim Sheridan to make a bundle in royalties.
Well, there is that side effect to it, isn't there?
Well, no, I won't make a penny because every single royalty I receive from these 6 issues will go straight to a charity that's very important to me.
When we can't see DC's profit margins or how many books they're selling, thanks to the distributor numbers being anywhere and always usually a guess, right? That's great, right? We never know if Tim's actually sending that money in its entirety there, or if he's just kind of keeping some gas money, keeping some Big Mac money for old Timmy, for his efforts, because it's hard queering up a Green Lantern who isn't even a Green Lantern. He's like some magic lantern man. Twitless says they never truly account for everyone. Yeah, when they mean everyone, they mean anybody who's basically just doing this to piss off their parents. J. Argonaut, I'll get it right eventually. Comics aren't for everyone. They're for comic book readers. I want you to take a minute and think about that statement, right? What is a comic book reader? Now, I don't want you to try and picture an exact human being. We're more looking like what you'd put on a business card. Like, hi, I'm Cider Hype. I'm a comic book reader. Here's my card. Notice the eggshell and slight glossy emboss. So, think about that. Think about what a comic book reader is when you try to introduce yourself. That's not who he's trying to sell this to. He's trying to sell this to political ideologues that want to piss off their MAGA hat wearing grandpas, right? And they're pushing this out right before the holidays. So everybody goes, I think I'll get my dad, who doesn't like Joe Biden and thinks the gays are weird, a book about a gay Green Lantern. Yeah, that'll teach him. That'll help educate him about the queer lifestyle, as if I get him a gay Green Lantern book. That'll fix everything. He might even accept you, Jimmy. Timmy, he might even accept you. JEC says EVS made those plastic Green Lantern rings a popular. Yeah, well, he actually designed them, right? Or at least the ones that weren't green or yellow. Because like all the other Spectrum rings didn't exist before the Darkest Night thing, or before that maybe. But yeah, he designed Atrocitus and he did all those designs for the rings as far as I remember. So I think the Green Lantern one though is like his own, like that existed in DC. So he didn't redesign that one. He just sort of based the other ones off of that one. Anyway. You know what? You could probably ask him. He's out there right now. You probably could ask him somewhere out there on the Shitterverse. Alpha Eagle is here, and he says, we have to defeat the queer fobs. The only way to stop them is to buy Tim's book. If you don't buy Tim's book, the queers will stop being. They'll sleep in the nether. That's right. They'll sleep in the nether. Can't have that. Tacitus Jones is here, and he says, and probably wearing his Spider-Man underoos too. Yes, the ones that turn your balls. Boo Brancher says, lol. Chuck Reardon says, why does he say this like a gay superhero is something some groundbreaking moment? This has been done a few times. Absolutely. Absolutely. But for him, this is he's got to sell this. And Alan Scott's been gay for a while, right? It's not a big deal that he's I don't know. He had a big comic where he was like in the future talking to his kids about the divorce and his wife, and like that's how they ended some big battle, line wide battle thing. Maybe it was Justice League Doom or something, or Converge. I forget. It was very recent, but they had him like talking to it. Very recent. I mean, in the past 5 years. Okay, very recent for me means in the past 5 years. But Alan Scott was like in the future, old man Alan Scott, and he was like talking to his like adult children about divorcing their mother and how difficult it was to keep the secret of being gay from them. And then he listed off all the other superheroes that he fucked or something. It's like, why? Why are you telling your kids this? They totally ruined that character. And again, nobody cared about him. The only reason why we're talking about Alan Scott is because they're trying to make him a hood ornament for the queer movement. And there's no reason to do that. Nobody cares about Alan Scott. Bebop Bandicoot says the whole point of all of this is to show the world, to show world depopulation by using predictive programming in comics through social engineering and psychological warfare. Yeah, fifth generation warfare. EI, making everyone gay and not have babies. It's true. It's true. To popularize these lifestyles instead of, trying to help these people who have found their way into a lifestyle that they don't feel too happy in, rather than making them fucking circus attractions. Boo Brancher says, stop virtue signaling, make something good. Don't focus on sexuality unless it enhances the story. All this dickhead is doing is dividing people. We don't need to focus on sexuality in comics. We really don't. It doesn't matter. Like we talked about earlier with North Star. It doesn't matter if he was gay. It wasn't the central point to who he was. He went home to a man. They didn't show us him like in the middle of, manning that man, if you will. But again, they haven't done this with Alan Scott either, but they've made sure that we're aware that he sleeps in the same bed with another man. He makes out with another man, and he talks to his children about his sex life. Ridiculous. Henry Throne is here, and he says, yeah, he came up with the other colors. He also, this is Ethan. He's talking about Ethan and the lanterns. He came up with the other colors. He also came up with the time travel by running fast. So he's got some dumb ideas as well. Well, technically time dilates at the speed of light. So it's not wrong, right? And Superman can die from a rock. So I don't know if he came up with all of it on his own, though. I think that Jeff Johns had a hand in all the other colors, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. You probably have to ask him. I'm sure he's explained it a billion times, though. But Peter Orchard Studios says maybe if Tim came out as ultra gay, wouldn't he sell more comics? Yeah, well, maybe there's a gay. Oh, isn't there a gay lantern? Yeah, it was the Gold Lantern they came out with in 2021, and the Gold Lantern is you have to be happy in order to use the power. Can you just think about that, right? And I know I'm asking you to think about it a lot tonight, but whatever. It's Thursday. It's not Friday yet, so whatever. But think about it. You have to be happy in order to use the power, in order to summon a machine gun to fight Parallax, a horrible, cancerous-looking mega monster that's just terror incarnate and bright yellow, like piss yellow. And you're the gold guy, and you got to be happy. You got to be like giggle fitting your ass off in order to own this guy. You got to be laughing harder than I do in order to own this guy. How psychotic is that going to look with that guy summoning a sword and giggle fitting as he cuts through zombie creatures on a planet? They don't think any of this through. They're just like, oh, we need a lantern that's happy. We need happy lanterns. Like, oh boy, I'm so glad I could be a lantern. And they made him black too. I don't get it with this whole, we got to gay up the blacks. I don't get that either. Leave everybody alone. Just leave everybody alone. If you want to tell a story about a character that's gay, just do that. You don't need to make him a superhero, or least of all, go back to Alan Scott, a character that nobody cared about, and try to resurrect that guy up just on the fact that he's gay. Didn't change anything about him. He's not a lantern. He's still magic lantern powered guy. He's not part of the Lantern Corps. He's not powered by the central battery. He's not one of the Guardians' creations or chosen ones. I forget where Alan's powers exactly came from, but he's just a dickhead that has a magic lantern ring. That's it. He's wearing like a sweatshirt.
And that I've supported for a long time, the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which
give this book to your kids so I could buy this book for your children on Christmas so I can give money to the AIDS Foundation because gay, right? It's a gay comic. It's a comic about the gays. So we're going to donate the profits to the AIDS Foundation. What? That makes the gays look bad? No, you're just a homophobe. You're a no. The AIDS you can get AIDS other ways. Like, you can get AIDS, all right? It's not just the gays. I think that's how it went, right? That's how it went.
Works to prevent HIV stigma and provide compassionate care for all communities. I am asking you to join the Corps.
Join the Queer Corps. Can we get hashtag Queer Corps going in the chat, guys? Can we get hashtag Queer Corps? Join the Queer Corps. Yeah. Read spell it like it's corpse, but without the E. So it's not a body, it's a group of people, right? Because if it's queer core, then it's like it's at the core of queerness, which this guy wants to be, but he's like clearly out there in like the nebulous, oh, maybe I am, maybe I'm not, maybe this ring's been up my butt, maybe it hasn't. I don't know. We need to make sure we get queer core, right? Like we want to make sure it's the core, like group of people, not the core of queerness. Because this guy, no, he's not the core of queerness. No. Wait till you find out that Taylor Swift's a man.
If you care about truth and justice, about shining a light in the darkness,
shining a light up my butthole.
If you think comics are and should continue to be for everyone.
Except people who vote for Trump, because those people aren't human, right? We're going to make sure that MODOK is Trump. We're going to make sure that we slave the Wonder Woman 1984 character to Trump in order to make sure that everybody knows how we feel about this.
Or if you just want to force these ComicsGate trolls back under the bridge they crawled out from, please support our...
Yes, Alan Scott's gay man comic, right? His gay Green Lantern comic is going to force ComicsGate back under a rock. I don't recall being under a rock, but let's listen to that again.
If you care about truth and justice, about shining a light in the darkness, if you think comics are and should continue to be for everyone, or if you just want to force these ComicsGate trolls back under the bridge they crawled out from.
It's a bridge. Sorry, not a rock. Do we get to charge a troll toll then? Because that's how that works, right? The troll under the bridge makes you either answer a riddle or pay a toll in order to cross the bridge, right? Is he making us the gateway? He's done it again. He's actually dunked on himself accidentally again. Because by making us the trolls under the bridge, we're the trolls that have to act as the gateway to get into, see? ComicsGate, These guys don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about.
Please support our book and send a message that the bullying and the lies and the hate have to stop. Everyone deserves to see themselves in comics.
Except for Donald Trump, at least of all in a positive light. We should put Trump in there badly and embarrass him because that's what we do here at DC Comics. Dynamite Comics, as it's now known, apparently.
Everyone needs allies, and if you're an ally, now is the time to
stand up for gay rights by buying this Alan Scott comic. It's not the Palestinians throwing gay dudes off the roof, right? It's not that. It's not the ISIS guys throwing gay dudes off the roof, right? It's not that. It's not Fauci selling gay guys AIDS medication that kills them. No. we gotta stand up to ComicsGate with the queer movement by buying this dumb book.
Please support our book and send a message that the bullying and the lies and the hate have to stop. Everyone deserves to see themselves in comics. Everyone needs allies. And if you're an ally, now is the time to step up. We outnumber them.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No. Hold on. We're going to look this up. Current population of gay Americans. See. Aha, here we go. 3.5% of U.S. adults identify as LGB. No, okay, pal. You don't outnumber anybody but the people who identify as transgender. That's all you outnumber, right? The 40% of people that manage to make it through being transgender. That's all you beat out there, Chief. That's it. I honestly think there's more people who have like penises and vaginas at the same time genetically than there are you people identifying this way. More people think that Elvis is an alien than identify as LGB in the U.S. Can't believe it. Yeah, JEC, we outnumber them. Weird cope, bro. Yeah, like what are they gonna like throw the books at us? They're gonna like line up and beat us with the books? Is it gonna be like a Kylie Jenner thing where they're gonna like walk up to the police and hand them an Alan Scott book? The cops are gonna be like, I don't hate the gays anymore. I Drink with Crazy says, no, they want to do it. What the fuck? Yeah, right? Twitter says, Cider Hype's laughter is more infectious than COVID. Oh, thanks. I really put my lungs into it. Both of them. Not just my favorite one. Do you have a favorite lung? Henry Throne says, it would be a lot lower if the media didn't hype up the LGBT so much. Yeah, well, 20% of Zoomers identify as gay, LGB now. That's fun, right? That's great. That makes perfect sense. 20% of a whole generation. Amazing. Bebop Bandicoot says, after Green Lanterns, how long do you think they'll before you think they'll move on to the, oh, they've done it to all of them. All the Lanterns are queer symbology now. All of them. I think the weird alien one that looks like bleached Twinkie, that guy, I think he's supposed to be gay. He's awfully soft. Bebop Bandicoot goes on and says, and their unique emotional power is hope, which is a spiritual belief in Christianity. It's why Superman was made that one. But again, this is not the DC of old. This is the DC of new, which they just make it up as they go along for funsies. Chuck Reardon says, as he lies and attempts to bully an independent comic group from atop a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Exactly. Like the lies, the bullying, the hating need to stop. And as he's casting down from top of the Chrysler building in New York, right? Backed by a multi-million-dollar organization. This guy in a basement in New Jersey is a threat to humanity. All of our queer allies need to get together and fight the frog the frog phobist or whatever. I don't know what to call him. I'm not good at their scary buzzwords that terrify people who live on Twitter and Tumblr. You know, I'm not good at that. I'm good at the other ones that make people laugh. JEC says, half the girls are pretending to be bi to get the boys' attention. I assume so. I've learned recently that a lot of them, they get told they're gay because they find some part of the same sex approvable, not even like attractive. Like they are attracted to that. It's just like, I found out from a gal that is in college now. She's like 22, that she identified as a lesbian in high school because she was told in middle school that because she thought that boobs were, fun, who doesn't, right? That made her a lesbian. That's all it took, was just like appreciating boobs. And that was it. I would be gay because I think that Robert Downey Jr. is good looking. I hope I look like Robert Downey Jr. when I get old, The dude's pushing 50 and he barely looks like he's hit 40 when he hasn't shaved his head to look like a cancer patient, you know, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or a hot dog. He kind of looks like a hot dog with glasses when he shaves his head. But anyway, that I hope I look as good as Robert Downey Jr., you know? That's what I think. I don't want to fuck Robert Downey Jr. Let me make that clear. I don't want to fuck Robert Downey Jr. I just think that he's a good-looking fella, you know? I would like to learn his beauty tips. Twitless says, Sheridan makes me feel high tea. What a guy. Wait a minute. I didn't Tom Cruise says, Tom Cruise. Yeah, Twitless says Tom Cruise looks better. Yeah, well, you know, I don't think so. I think he looks photoshopped. I think that those weirdo Scientologists Photoshop him. And he has to stand on a box in order to perform like Daniel Radcliffe. Like, I'm 5'7". I would own that. I would just own that. Like, yeah, I'm the short action hero. Whatever. Fuck it. I need a stepladder just to kick a man in the face. But you know what? I'm bringing it.
So let's pool our power, vote with our wallets, and beat these assholes. Add as many of these 4 variant covers for Alan.
Okay, wait. No, get out of here.
Now is the time to step up. We outnumber them.
As we saw over on the graph, the percentage there. No, they don't.
So let's pool our power, vote with our wallets, and
what are you voting for? Hold on. What are we voting for? What referendum is this that you're asking people to lend their money to, right? Not a voting referendum, a buying referendum, right? We're going to send a political message. Is that what I'm to understand here? Let's listen to that.
Number them. So let's pool our power, vote with our wallets.
He's like using all of the Obama fired up, ready to go, fired up, ready to go, fired up, ready to go catchphrases here. He's like...
and beat these assholes.
Look at the smile in his face when he says beat assholes. Look at that smile. Look at that. The little dimples showing up there. Yeah. There's a little bit of fudge packing banging around up there in that 5 head, isn't there, pal? Yeah, you think about beating assholes, something a little different comes to your mind, huh, pal?
Eat these assholes.
Eat these assholes.
Add as many of these 4 variant covers for Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, to your pull list today.
You fight those queerphobes by buying all of these things you're not interested in, because Alan Scott is nobody's. No one. Nobody likes Alan Scott. Nobody. No one. Not a soul. Nobody. Nobody likes Alan Scott.
Pick him up in store next week.
No, I refuse. You can't make me. They opened up a comic book shop in a city near me, like 10 minutes away from its city, right? 6,500 people. I'm sorry, I live in Maine. So they opened up in a town near me during the pandemic. Haven't set foot in it. You want to know why? Because it's got DC and Marvel's crap in it. I don't need to be assaulted by that when I go in there. Least of all this thing, like buy all the variant covers to make sure that people online who mostly use anime avatars understand that gay people are here and queer, I guess. What statement are we making to ComicsGate by backing all of these variant covers? What are we saying to them, Mr. Sheridan? You neglected to explain to us just what exactly we're saying to all these people. If we're allies, we don't hate the gays, we're going to buy this comic to send a message to those skullduggerous ComicsGate people, those rapscallion ComicsGaters, and in particular that basement-dwelling New Jersey frog saver. Yeah. What that message is, though, nobody knows. Nobody has a freaking clue, because this guy doesn't know what the message is. He just blurted out a bunch of Obama catchphrases and decided that was enough to validate asking people to spend probably $75 to $100 on fuck nothing.
Week, Tuesday the 24th. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're very welcome, Timothy Sheridan. Big Jimmy. Big Jim Jimmy. Twiddler says, yeah, he's smiling while thinking about the butt beating. Yep, he's thinking about the butt beating. That's for sure. Twitless also says, I think you're onto something. He's projecting while he thinks of spanking. It's exactly it. It's exactly it. Alpha Eagle's here, and he says, comics is for everyone. Also, screw those CG assholes. Right? Exactly. Like, this is the message he's sending everybody. Like, comics is for everybody, unless you're a troll under the bridge that apparently we also have to pay a toll to in order to cross the bridge to get to the Alan Scott cover, because I totally understand what I'm talking about. You gotta love these pros who are apparently writers, right? But they can't put together a convincing narrative to get you to buy a gay Green Lantern book. Okay? Like, at no point did he mention the story of this book. Right? You would think, like, we want to send a message to these ComicsGate people by presenting a positive and uplifting and exciting pro-queer story. And that's why you need to get all the variant covers and check them out and get them at your local brick and mortar comic book store before they close up and go out of business because of this practice. What? That's not there. He never explains in this comic, Alan Scott beats the pants off of Mogul on Warworld and butt fucks him in front of the entire Citadel, and everyone realizes that Mogul's a bad guy because nobody knew about it before. Apparently, he didn't say anything like that. He didn't explain anything about. He didn't explain this was an origin story with Alan Scott. He didn't explain that this was Alan Scott waking up on DC Tuesday and deciding to beat the pants off of his enemies, whoever the hell they are, because nobody likes fucking Alan Scott. I'm Brett says, is he a power bottom like Milo? I'm not gay. Yanninopoulos. Yeah, I never got his name right. I call him Yanninopoulos. Anyway, that guy, gay Milo. Yeah, well, Milo, he's pretty gay. He's pretty gay. It's undeniably gay there. This fella, I just feel like he signed a contract that said you must say dumb shit into a camera so many times a year. And maybe the butt beating thing's a little personal for him. I don't know. You remember that Kibblesmith guy? He looked like he rolled right out of one of those Soy Boy Nintendo Switch commercials with his mouth gaping open. This guy, Tim Sheridan, he just seems kind of like he's contractually obligated to say something like this. I don't know if he believes it or not, but he's trying to make me believe it. That's for sure. Peter Orchard Studio says, damn ComicsGate kids, get off my lawn. Exactly. Your loud music and your bright colors and all your neat guns and explodey shit. Get off my lawn. I'm telling gay stories over here. Twitler says, I thought Doug TenNapel was smug, but at least he's tall. This guy looks small next to his Transformers. Well, I'm 5'7", so you set me next to a 10-inch action figure, that's like that's like an eighth of my height. So, but Boob Rancher says it's enough you're helping your allies, but don't be greedy and expect this story. Right? Exactly. It's me. It's my problem. It's me. It's my fault as a comic skater, expecting this pro-queer comic book to contain some semblance of a story to sell it. It's my fault for having that very bigoted and queer-phobic thought and expectation. That's right. Unless you're going to find out that expectations are white supremacy or something. Yeah. J. Argonaut says, ComicsGate. Exactly. That's where we're at with this. So that's Tim Sheridan and his magical adventure through explaining why the hell we should care about this Alan Scott comic, in which he neglects to mention the story. Maybe it's here. Oh, nope. There it is. I'm gay. Yep. Old man, Tim Scott's, I'm gay. And of course, Jade, as his daughter, says, "Oh, Dad, you've been keeping it in all this time. You've been keeping it in all this time. You've been keeping it in. He's been keeping it in, all right. Oh yeah, to the best of his ability, he's been keeping it in. That's for sure." He says, "I let a few of the boys in the society know back in the day, but I've had a good deal of friends over the years. But some of the greatest minds of this world are looking out at the frontier again, and that's and all that's possible. And they've asked me to be a sentinel overlooking the totality of this world. And I don't think it would be right to take that job without finally being my whole self with my friends and my family." Good for him, right? Good for Alan Scott that he's very gay and has to let everybody know that. Do you remember when like it was a big thing to see North Star just make a big old speech? He just blurts that out in a panel like this. Just North Star, "I'm gay," just like that. It's great. Gotta love it. So apparently he goes on and explains some stuff about what he was saying, and he says, "All right, so, oh boy." Tim Sheridan writes on X, "For you innocents out there wondering what CG is, they're a hateful group of misogynist, queerphobic, racist a-holes." You can say asshole on Twitter. What the fuck? A-holes who actively work to take down comics with any hint of diversity. They deserve a big loss. That would be the L that I mentioned. Good for them, right? Good, the L. Buying this book that you don't talk about the story at all is going to totally own the CGers. Apparently, J. Edgar Hoover has naked pictures of Alan Scott hanging out with dudes, and that's part of the story. It's what I'm getting out of this. So the preview page, I guess. Oh, here we go. A leaked page from the upcoming series obtained by Superhero Hype appears to depict FBI Director J. Edward Hoover blackmailing Alan Scott into not only joining the fledgling Justice Society of America, but also into sexual escapades with himself. Oh, no! Yeah. Who would do this? Who wants to see J. Edgar Hoover naked? Like Tim Sheridan, have you considered like what is that? It's a therapy they give you drugs, right? They give you the hard surgery drugs. Why can't I think of the drug now? It's not fentanyl therapy. It's the other one. Ketamine. You should do ketamine therapy, dude. You should do ketamine therapy. This is awful. You're thinking about J. Edgar Hoover naked. You need help, Tim. You need help. A lot of it. So anyway, the page shows Hoover intimidating Scott with a photo of himself and another man in a homosexual embrace. Not only does it show Hoover blackmailing Scott, but Hoover also informs him. Hold on. Oh, so we're having a little get-together in the Forest Hills this weekend. You'll come. Clyde will give you the details on your way out. But Alan, bring your combat boots. I don't know why he sounds like Nixon. I just wanted to make him sound as disgusting as possible saying that. If they still fit. Clyde is most likely a reference to the real-life former FBI associate of director Clyde Tolson, which biographers and historians have debated was Hoover's longtime sexual lover. So that's what we're doing now, huh? We're taking real life people and we're just deciding that they're gay. Now that they're dead and they're not around to talk about it, they're not around to say that maybe I was, but I don't necessarily want that in a fucking Green Lantern comic. Anyway, For instance, Richard Hack, in his biography Puppet Master, asserts that Hoover was not a homosexual. But Anthony Summers, in his official and confidential The Secret Life of J. Edgar Hoover book, claims that he was a homosexual. He told ABC News he was sadly a repressed individual, but most people, even J. Edgar Hoover, let go on occasion. This guy. This is what they want to think. This is what Tim's like, yeah, get that guy gay and get him naked with Alan Scott in the fucking woods. Sheridan denies that Hoover and Scott have relations in the series. He wrote on X, I can't believe I even have to post this, but no, Alan Scott does not have sex with J. Edgar Hoover in our book. However, Hoover does blackmail Alan into joining us. Yes, Hoover is creepy, but so are the a-holes posting misleading BS to keep you from reading the book about a man, J. Edgar Hoover, being gay with the Green Lantern in the woods. He added, and not to spoil anything, but just to be even clearer, Hoover tries to blackmail Green Lantern. Hoover trying to blackmail a prominent figure with compromising intel. Unheard of. While it's unclear at this point if the book will leave open the question on whether or not Hoover was blackmailing Scott into sexual relations, preview pages obtained by Bleeding Cool do show Scott engaging in sodomy with another man in the army. Wow. Holy fuck. That's in a Green Lantern comic. That's in a green. You literally have a ring on your finger that manifests the imagination in your head. Whatever your willpower can conjure up into that damn ring can pop out of that. And these guys, the best thing they can figure out to fill pages up with regarding that whole concept is two dudes laying in bed talking about butt-fucking each other. What? Hey, if God himself didn't want me to love you, then how could I? And why would he make me look so good in a ring? Okay, cool. That's neat. I really appreciate that like we're challenging God now in our Green Lantern comics, because that's just been a central point to Green Lantern, right? Challenging God Almighty all the time, just stick it in the face, old Jesus. Green Lanterns, notably anti-God, right? These questions show a clear lack of understanding of Christian theology and teaching as well, right? Amazing. This is what this guy wants you to buy: triplicates, quadruplicates, sextuplicates of his book that he's putting out here. And this is what's in it. This is what, again, he has a ring on his finger that manifests his imagination in its most purest form. Like Kyle Rayner put on freaking mecha armor. He made himself a Gundam once. Not like turned himself into a Gundam. He used his ring to generate a Gundam. John Stewart, not the Jew guy, the black guy. He uses his ring and he creates military hardware that he used to work on. He used to operate as a Marine. But this is what Tim Sheridan says should be in a Green Lantern book. This is what they have to question God before we get to the part where the dude puts on a fucking sweatshirt and summons the power of a magical Green Lantern to stop some dumb bullshit somewhere that nobody fucking cares about. God, I hate this. I'm gay, love me. Yeah, exactly. Twitter says the CW effect has been disastrous for comics. Yeah, when we don't have anything to fucking talk about, we just insert sexuality into the goddamn stories because that's all we've got. Nothing separates the DC universe now from the fucking Greek pantheon. You get that? You get that? It's only a matter of time before Superman gives birth out of his fucking skull. You know? Twitless also says, I hate it when 45-year-olds try to talk like they're 17. Peter Pan syndrome, the whole lot of them. Yeah, what a surprise, right? Is this real life? I don't know, man. Like in a Green Lantern comic, they have two naked dudes discussing the validity of God's law on homosexuality. Like it's right up there with the new champions that Marvel put together, dedicating something like 7 pages to the team of teenagers discussing the ethnicity, the racial background of a fucking peach. It's almost as bad as that. JEC says, J. Edgar Hoover was queer as a $3 bill. I don't care. Why the hell do you have to put in a Green Lantern comic that he's gay? It's enough that he's a shady motherfucker. Swift Fox Mark II says it's a bad JRPG. Yeah, it really. Yeah, which one is the bottom? You know who the bottom is. They're going to make it clever to make the Green Lantern warrior on the streets, bottom in the street, in the sheets, you know? Like, they're going to do everything they can to make him a badass when he's out there with his fucking sweatshirt on. But the minute you get him in a room with another fella, he's just all jelly, apparently. Oh, KY jelly just came to my mind. Damn it. Tacitus Jones, this comic isn't about diversity. It's all about grooming. It's not even made for kids. That's the thing, Tacitus Jones. You just let me see if I can go back to this weirdo's video here, right? And we'll go back and look at that stupid cover he's got. Where's that main cover? There it is. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know children at all that are going to pick that up. This is the age of manga, okay? This is the age of manga. There's not a child that is going to look at that cover and say, I got to know what's inside that book. There isn't one. You might get a teenager, maybe. But the majority of people that pick this up are going to be well over the age of 30. That's where it's going to be. Maybe some 25-year-olds, but most of them are going to be over 30. Because that does not say anything. That's barely even a throwback to anything in the past with him. It's another, we paid Alex Ross $1,500 to jerk off on a fucking canvas, so here we go. And that's what it is. It's just, could you paint up Alan Scott? And Alex Ross is like, yeah, sure, whatever, just pay me. And he goes and does it. That's it. There's no life to this. But that's what we're looking at. And they're not going to be kids picking this up. It's just not. Boring as shit. Where were we? We'll go back to this thing. No, we'll go back to the gay lover thing. Where is it? There it is. Ah, there. That's nice and provocative. That'll get people to tune in. This right here, this fucking shit. Well, it's fucking, that's what it is. Boo Brancher says they both look like twinks. Yeah, like the guy with the black hair also kind of looks like Nightwing. They're so desperate to make Nightwing a gay man that they're just replicating him in other stories to just visually provide the what are those girls that like the gay man relationships? Japanese have a particular word for them, and they're so awful. But anyway, that pile of yuck is the one that likes this stuff. And so, of course, they both look like twinks. Boo Brancher also adds the ring conjures an incandescent, indestructible butt plug. It's how it trains. JEC says, bro, imagine the sex toys. You too. Both of you. Jeez. You're going to get my channel struck, man. Talking about, well, I mean, I said some stuff too, so.
Hallelujah! Holy shit!
But I that's what it is. Tim Sheridan is defending this. He wants you to buy all 6 variant covers of this across all 6 issues, or whatever many variants they have of this thing. They want him to send a message to the trolls under the bridge in ComicsGate, right? That queer whatevers are doing things in comics. And we're just going to explain that J. Edgar Hoover is blackmailing Alan Scott with pictures of him with a man. Why is this in a book where a man can fly through space? He doesn't need a ship. He doesn't even have like special powers unto his own DNA. He's not like Superman where he can just survive on sunlight provided there's a yellow sun within range of keeping him alive, right? He needs air. He needs water. He needs, protection from cosmic radiation. The ring does all that. And he's laying in bed talking to a guy about fucking him and how God would be against it. When they ask you what you think is the problem with modern comics, you should just be honest with them. It's the fact that they want to tell Sex in the City instead of a mythological epic. That's what it is. They're leaning out of the mythos and into the logos. And that's where you're at. You're at the real life stage of fiction where these people are completely bereft of creative ideas. So they can't think of anything to do with Alan Scott. Like, he could be fighting demons. Alan Scott could be fighting demons. Those exist. Morgana Le Fay gets around. She fucks shit up sideways. Mordred was the son, right? Mordred. He can fuck around, do some dumb shit too. Magical people. Faust is around. You could do crazy things with him having like a flaming Green Lantern sword and a flaming shield, and he plunges into the Balrog pit. And then he comes home to this not Nightwing twink, and then that's the end of the comic. Nope. No, we got to make sure that everybody knows that he's turbo gay, that he's so gay, he's going to question God's law. Amazing. J. Argonaut says, gay Green Lantern won't sell as well as he thinks. I want to watch him fight Dr. Destiny, not give him a rim job. Oh, man. That would be the threat of the gay Green Lantern, right? He's not just going to apprehend you. He's not just going to put you in cuffs. Those cuffs might be a little tickly. Right? Maybe that's the angle here, right? Like, nobody wants to get caught by the gay Green Lantern because that's not the end of it, right? You think Batman's bad. Nah, they're not that brave. They're not that brave. But you know who is brave? The people over at Netflix. Those great folks over at Netflix. Netflix drops the first fully costumed look at the upcoming live action, again, Avatar: The Last Airbender. All right, we're going to try it again. We're going to take another swing at this. This was the Nickelodeon show that was like a wannabe anime that came out in the early 2000s, right? And so they're trying to do another live action. The first one was a bit of a flop because M. Night Shyamalan went way too hard into the Asian aesthetic, like the real world Asian aesthetic, as opposed to the show's Asian aesthetic. And that kind of obliterated the movie for me anyway. And then Ong, calling him Ong, that was awful. That was painful. Anyway. Oh, right. This comes once again from Spencer Bakuli. Make sure to check him out over on Kabuto Studios, I think. I'm sorry. I'm sure I remember it some other time. Anyway, he writes, undoubtedly riding high after the breakout success of One Piece, Netflix has officially begun to thaw the ice around the Avatar's return by providing fans with their very first glimpse at the streamer's upcoming live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series. We're not even doing a movie here. It's a series. Everything's a series now. Can't just make a damn movie. Coming in the form of set photos released on October 17th as part of Netflix's annual Geeked Week preview event. These new images featured the fully costumed cast of the series. The fully costumed principal cast, including the Gordon Cormier, Joe the Last, anyway, as the latest reincarnation of Avatar Aang. I mean, he looks closer than the other guy did. The other kid did. The other kid was like wearing Jedi suits. Said a Jedi suit. That was weird. At least he's orange in this. That's good. I'm not even gonna like try to. Kaiowente Torbell, as the resident waterbender and level-headed member of the series core team, Katara. Okay, so this, yeah, Kaiowentio as Katara. You know, it's not hard to be Katara, really. Black hair, kind of Eskimo-y complexion. You're good to go. Yeah, finally, Sokka actually looks like Sokka. I appreciate that. That's nice. Ian Ousley will be playing the core's funny man, the boomerang expert. And, you know, as far as he's concerned, the leader, Sokka. That's cool. I'm glad he finally looks like Sokka. That's nice. Little Game of Thrones touch with his costume there. I feel like he might be at home in, like, Beyond the Wall. Dallas Liu. I wonder if he's related to Simu Liu. Maybe I'm thinking the wrong Lius. It's a lose-lose situation. Anyway, yeah, he's got the little Firebender belt thing, the Fire Nation belt. Finally, that's an iconic symbol from the show that they never put in the movie. So it's cool he's got his burn thing going on. Paul Sun Hyung Lee as Prince Zuko's closest family member and mentor, Uncle Iroh. Yeah, he looks good. He looks good. That's not bad. That's not bad. He's got the little top knot thing. That's neat. I like that. Why does Azula look like she ate all the Twinkies in China? Like she drank all the tea in China. Wow. See, Azula's like my favorite character in the series because she's like evil and nuts and hot, and I like that. Like as a kid, I was really into that. I was like, oh yeah, evil bitch that shoots lightning out of her fingers. I'm down. Let's go. What's your number, babe? How do I get hold of you after the show here? Lightning fingers. But I do not want any that this is dangerous here. This is maybe she got hired for her acting talent. I don't know. And finally, giving his live reaction to the news of the Avatar's return, Daniel Dae Kim, who previously provided voices of General Fong in the original animated series, and Hiroshi Sato in The Legend of Korra, as well as the series' main antagonist, the tyrannical Fire Lord Ozai. Yeah. First announced in development back in 2018, Netflix's live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender will, according to its showrunners, Albert Kim, supposedly strive to be as close as possible to the original source material. Do you think they could do it? Do you think they can do it? I don't know. Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah. Maiden Hell says, and the dragon. The dragon? Oh yeah, the dragon. In Shang-Chi, right? JEC says, they did this already, and it was a stupid idea first. Well, let me just explain, right? Avatar: The Last Airbender is America's attempt at creating Dragon Ball. Not Dragon Ball Z. It's an attempt at creating Dragon Ball. If you follow Avatar semi-closely, you can feel the Dragon Ball fingerprints all over. You can feel Akira Toriyama's energy floating through it. So Avatar hits a note for people that grew up with it, because like we didn't have a Dragon Ball here. We didn't have a Dragon Ball Z here. We had it imported. It was neat and cool, but then there was Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that came out and it had like the American veneer that people like, that kind of I don't know. We do adventure a little differently here in the US. Our adventurers are usually more boisterous and loud. Even like Naruto in well, self-titled Naruto, the character is still a little bit measured as far as like American attitudes are concerned, right? And so when Avatar: The Last Airbender came out, that was just that was the jam. That was the competition for Dragon Ball. Finally, America had not turned out anything to compete with the juggernaut of Dragon Ball, and then The Legend of Korra came out, and we all just decided that that didn't happen, and we ignored The Legend of Korra. So there we go. It was really easy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Azula. Like, that's not cool. Like, don't do that to my girl. She's that bitch was hot in the show. Don't do that. Made in Hell, the dragon in the Airbender movie, instead of speak. Oh, right. Okay. Instead of the past incarnations, he talked to the dragon. That's right. That made no sense at all. Yeah. Dragon Ball mixed with Ghibli. Yeah, a little bit of that, but really the spirituality and the holistic viewpoint of the world that Ghibli has in his stories, that never became a thing in Airbender. They may have taken like some of the aesthetic where Aang is just sort of amazed with the changes of the world and whatnot, but that's it. The holistic nature of Ghibli stuff just I didn't notice it. It didn't really come through in Avatar, the cartoon anyway. But so that's great. We're now looking at a Netflix adaptation series of Avatar: The Last Airbender that's going to be close to the source material. I mean, I'm happy for it. I hope it does. This means that they could eventually someday tell a Dragon Ball Z. They could do a Dragon Ball Z series. That's what it means. It means that it's possible. I can't say it'll look good, but it won't be Dragon Ball Evolution. Apparently, Netflix has decided that moving away from the source material is a bad idea. So they, I don't know what they're going to do with Death Note. They kind of really moved that from the source material, but oh well. Can't change it now. JEC says Avatar looked like Princess Mononoke, like a Princess Mononoke knockoff. Yeah, a little bit. Again, like they went for that aesthetic, that Ghibli aesthetic, but they didn't have the holistic approach that Ghibli does to just about everything he does. So. And we do have leaked descriptions of the Superman Legacy concept art. Alleged, so they're out there. They exist. Descriptions and not actually the deal. All right, this is not the real deal. This is just descriptions of the concept art. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. So this article begins with, there have been a few leaks purporting to know a thing or two about Superman Legacy, but there haven't been many that can be considered credible. It's the internet. Anyone can post anything anonymously without proof or receipts and get people talking. Over time, that chatter can become gospel, and that has an assumed ethereal veracity, especially when it comes from X or Reddit. I know how to read English, okay? I do, all right? It's just worded differently than I speak, all right? Half the time, if not more, claims get debunked and forgotten, though this doesn't always happen wholesale. Occasionally, the bulk of a rumor gets thrown out while a nugget of truth remains. We have to wait and see if these new set of rumors we heard about bears a nugget or two of truth. But Reddit mods vouch for their quality. And we know Reddit mods are the tip top of wholesome honesty. Those Redditors. So, all right. So someone on Reddit decided to talk, and Bounding Into Comics wants to write an article about it. Here we go. I've seen and personally worked on some of the concept art since we last spoke, writes this Redditor. It's who likes animations on Reddit, if you want to go ask this person dumb things. All right, so he says Jor-El, right, the father of Superman. He's being drawn as tall, and I mean really tall, like 7 feet tall. Like, yeah, of course. Like, they have a short baby. Superman's a short little babby. Most Kryptonians are like 7'5". Superman's a short little babby. He's a manlet among Kryptonians. His costume is sort of a mix between armor and fabric, with the armor bits being like a baby blue and the fabric being a crystally white. This user explains. He has a blue House of L crest on his chest, which glows, kind of like an LED. Neat, right? Neat. Cool. And the post goes on and it says, and here's the fun part. Ooh. Take this with a grain of salt, as a ton of concept art uses random actors' faces on characters. But the specific art I've seen features Kurt Russell's face on Jor-El. Wow, guys. Wow. Can you believe it? Kurt Russell as Wow. It's like he's old or something. Wow. It's like he's old. You remember when he was old in that Guardians of the Galaxy movie? It's like he's old or something. Whoa. Next, a fun Brainiac tease is offered. Yeah, he says, I've seen the concept art for what appears to be a Brainiac drone. Now, this doesn't outright confirm that Brainiac is in the movie, but he at least has some sort of presence. The drone's appearance is nothing of note, just a generic gray robot with green highlights. Oh boy, cool. Another Skrillex or whatever that assistant robot thing was in the Kryptonian breeding ship. Kryptonian breeding ship. Brainiac and Kurt Russell are in question, but Jimmy Olsen might not be. Quoting this user, they write, basically the same as I've said before, but now, interestingly, with Skylar Gizondo's face added on the art. I have no idea who that person is, and I don't care. Like I said, we use actors like this as for a ton of concept work, but I'm inclined to believe that Skylar is actually Jimmy here, due to everything we've heard. The artist wouldn't know. They don't tell the artist these things. It's not important. But who is Skylar Gizmondo? A bunch of stuff is here. Cool. Good for him. Like David Cornuswet could get a job being Superman. Good for him. Speaking of Cornuswet, the leak has come... has some insight into what the newcomer's costume might look like. Oh, that's great. We're going to find out. Here we go. All right. The leaker writes, there's been concept art done for most Superman suits, Fleischer, Rebirth, the Classic, etc. Gunn really just wants to find the perfect suit to use for this movie. Heavens to Murgatroyd. And he says, here we go. I gotta drink it in here, because this might be Superman trunks. Super Trunks might be back. I like Super Trunks. I miss the trunks. I think the trunks are a good reminder that Superman started out as being based off of a carnival strongman. The Superman we know now, not the original bald guy that took over the world way back when Simon was really mad about his dad getting killed. But anyway, there is concept art of Superman both with and without trunks. I'm assuming the decision of whether he'll have trunks or not will be dependent on how it looks in the actual costume tests. Now, the Reddit mods are more confident on this source's quality, right? But they're not going to tell you that. But they're independently corroborating details with this person, right? So, but due to the limited scope of their claims so far, none have been visually confirmed. Well, that's good for them, right? That's good for them. So they have it. They might put Superman in trunks again. They might not. Kurt Russell might be Jor-El because he's old, and they can't think of another old guy in Hollywood to make Jor-El, apparently. Twitter says, I can't wait to see how stupid they make a character called Brainiac. It's going to be great. Apparently, according to this, he just shows up and he's like, yes, the son of Jor-El is on Earth. Apparently, I did not eradicate all of the Kryptonians. That's what he's going to do. Emphasis on the nyam, 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 nyam at the end. Twitless also says, I'll bet that he gets outsmarted by a teenage girl hacker with an attitude and a bone to pick with the patriarchy. That's true. Or Brainiac could be a symbolism for trans identity, in that Brainiac takes on a female body and then a male body and then a body that doesn't express a particular gender. So they might do that, like the ultimate intelligence doesn't recognize gender, and they'd be like, ha ha, look at all of you, you knuckle-dragging Neanderthals with your concern of birth-assigned gender. Nyah, 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 nyah. Just like that. JEC says, James Gunn likes Kurt Russell. He was in Guardians too. Yeah, well, apparently he's the only old guy in Hollywood, right? The only old guy in Hollywood. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's that. That is that. That's all I got to talk about. That's the news that I cared about or cared to bring to you this evening. And yeah. When we do eventually get to see this Alan Scott comic through and through and find out that it is just another very stupid self-insert, what if I was gay kind of situation, as again, no one cares about Alan Scott. When we do find out that it's nothing but politics and agenda, let's just make fun of this guy mercilessly to the end of time, right? Let's just do that. Let's just make fun of him for the rest of his days. I'm sure I can find some guy on Fiverr to remix all of his statements about allies and stuff like that, and we'll make fun of him forever. It'd be great. But yeah, right. Alan's, yeah, you can rip the foil one. You rip the foil one. That would be great. Just hurt somebody's heart out there by ripping the foil one up. You have to pay extra. You gotta know the super chats better come in that day. I don't know, man. Might have to find like some special ripping music too, I have to tell John to make a special occasion of it, right? That he should be in the hot tub doing it. Out gay the gay, right? Either way, I appreciate you fellas and ladies, and those of you who don't identify yourselves on the internet, that's fine. I appreciate you all hanging out here. Those of you participating in the chat, like Twitless, JEC, J Argonaut, Maiden Hell, Alpha Eagle, Boob Rancher, Tassus Jones, Swift Fox Mark II, and Peter Orchard Studios, Einbrecht, and Anonymity 2 hung out for a little while here too. Chuck Reardon was here, Bebop Bandicoot, Henry Thrun, A Drink with Crazy, and if I've left you, Chris Stanley was here. That's cool. Chris Stanley was here. Yep. And I was here. Yep. Nice to see you, Cider. But anyway, I want to thank you all for showing up today, and I appreciate it. I'd like to cover the news again sometime. I don't know when I'll have time, but sometime we'll cover the news. I'm going to do some upgrades on my presentation as well, so you're going to see some stuff change, and I'll probably be on camera the next time I try this stupid stunt again. But if you liked this episode of Cider Talk, feel free to hit like. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free. Don't slap the bell. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But someday it will be. Don't worry. Someday it will be. If you're catching this in the replay, feel free to leave nasty comments below. YouTube likes to stick them over into the we can't show you this unless you tell us to show it to you section. And that's fun. It's kind of like a mystery box. I get to open up like, oh, wow, look at all the hatred. The people accusing me of being a feminist. That was great. Some guy went completely unhooked at me about being a feminist, and I'm not, which is the weirdest thing. Well, it's not the weirdest thing, but it's just weird out of that one. But anyway, I digress. We are at the end of the show. So I'm going to play the outro now. It's the anime one. I hope you like it. Yeah, it's the Chain Gang. Just search Chain Gang Sleepwalker. Sleepwalking, if you want to know. And yeah. See ya.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
wherever you are in the world, just know that I believe in you and I believe in whatever you're doing. Get out there and get some.